Oh, it looks like we're live. This thing is on. What's going on, guys? Very exciting day of games today. What's going on, MVP? The Dolphins did win. Exciting game. Four-game winning streak. Tua is 2-0. Pardon the pun. Fat guy's just grabbing some food, and then he's going to be joining us shortly.
And it really came down to, Chris, a couple of big calls that went against the Cowboys that really shifted the momentum.
All right, chat is up and running as well. I just have a little bit of work here to do for this game, but off the top of my head, I think the Dolphins are 6-2 against the spread. Well, the Bucs are favored. The Bucs open as 5.5-point favorites, but they've been bet down to 3-point favorites. So if I was going to make a bet today, it would be the Saints +3, but I don't see much value on either side, so I'm not going to be betting tonight. But I'd say the Bucs have like a 58% chance of winning, 57% chance of winning, somewhere around there. So very, very, very slight value on the Saints market-wise, just because of the line movement. It's pretty split as far as bet percentage-wise and money percentage-wise. But an excellent day today. I think it was 4. It won against the spread, up 3 units. Dallas covering +14 for me, which was nice. As well as Carolina covering, Buffalo covering. And an Indy loss. Steelers not kicking the field goal screwed so many live betting. Oh, I'm sure, heyo. That was yeah, that's pretty sad, Jake. Untouchable Jay, one of our followers, had he bought the Chargers money line during the game at +308. So he was celebrating in chat, pretty damn excited, until they decided to call it back. What's going on, Sarah Booth? The line is at 3 right now. Let me just double check, make sure nothing has changed over the last few minutes. But I think there's very, very, very slight value on New Orleans as 3-point underdogs. But very, very slight. The only reason I say that is because of the line movement. Tampa Bay opened at 5.5. They've been bet down to 3 points, but they've kind of been oscillating between 3 and 3.5. So it's going to close somewhere at either New Orleans 3 or Tampa Bay 3.5. And someone else was saying, what do I think chances are? I think Tampa Bay's probably 57, 58% chance to win today. And that would mean the Saints are, 42 to 43% chance to win today. So the best thing would have been to get the Saints early at plus 5.5. Otherwise, I don't think there's much value either way. I definitely can't recommend a play either side using market factors. Unless you really favor line movement, then I would say jump on the Saints. But a very good day again today. Fat Guy and I are above 500 for the year. It's been very strong weeks back to back. The one thing I will say, Sarah Booth, is if you do like Tampa, Tampa Bay right now at 3 points is going to be the best price you're going to get. Just checking the odds, see where the juice is. So yeah, if you wanted Tampa Bay right now, you can get Tampa Bay -3 at -109. What's going on, Jackson? And Sarah Booth, thank you very much for joining the membership. It means a lot to the Fat Guy and I. And there's if you look in the community tab, you're going to find links to a Discord. And that Discord, you're able to chat with us anytime and ask us questions. Like throughout the early games today, like there's a bunch of us. There's like 8 or 9 of us in there at the moment. So we're chatting throughout the games. Eric said, Big Rye, you would be proud of me. I got New Orleans early in the week when they were plus 5.5, and I bet the over today when it was at 50. It started at 54.5. Those are big wins, Eric. The key to sports gambling is winning before the games are even played, and getting those lines that's a win no matter what happens today. What's going on, Mickey? How you doing? Oh, Jackson, 69 wins. We are at the Fat Guy and I are at 65 wins now, so we're 2 games above 500. We're still not beating the Juice at 50.8%. So 51.2% would be beating Juice. So we're 1 game back. A win tonight. I believe we have the Saints tonight. Let me just double check. So in the contest, it's 5 points. We're on the Saints tonight at 5. 71% of you are on the Saints tonight in the contest at +5. And 29% are on Tampa. The biggest upset of the year so far as spreads happened in the contest this week with 86%, including us, including the Fat Guy and I. We were all on Pittsburgh -9.5. So congrats to the 10 people who were able to jump on Dallas and get that win today. Michigan said he has whoever and the Jets. 65, 63, and 2. How far I've fallen. You're still up for the season, or you're still you're really damn close to break even. Yeah, it's definitely a bad start. There was a lot of favorites covered the first half of the year. It's starting to even out. That Chargers game killed you, Jamie. Mickey said he's 6-6 today. Not sure how many wins for the year. Mickey, I always forget what your yearly one is. Isn't it Fat Guy has COVID cooties? I think you're 73, 55, and 2. So you're having an excellent season at 6th place. And Jamie, you are tied for first this week at 9-2. Yeah, Jackson, it can be hard. To be honest, though, Pittsburgh minus 9.5 is the right decision to make just because of that line. That's the one benefit that you guys get is you guys can pick late and get the best side of each line. You know, you're going to go 54, 55% in the contest just by waiting on those lines and picking last minute. Eric said, next year I will make a power ranking system and try to catch my bets early in the week. My rankings will be more in regards of my point awarding than 1 to 32. I think that's a good plan, Eric. I don't even think you should wait till next year. I think you should start doing it now. There's no reason not to practice good habits early. And the fat guy and I were off to a really strong start this week. We were, I think, 7-2. But I believe we went 0-3 on those late games. Yeah, we went 0-3 on the late games, so we ended up, 7-4 for the week? Yeah, 7-4 so far. Mickey asking the hard-hitting questions. Usually the afternoon games are a little bit easier as far as using market systems because of the betting. The number of bets is higher, but it's small samples. If there's only 3, 4, 5 games, it's really easy to think of 2-3 as a bad day, or 1-2 as a bad day, or 0-3. What's going on, Mudhole? How you doing? Eric said, I think you would kill it with a power ranking system. I believe Fat Guy does have a power ranking system, but does not know he uses it. He is the master at calling public movement. I agree, Eric. I actually started coming up with some brand new analytics, and I'm going to take a little bit of time. It'll be a lot easier when Fat Guy comes here because he can roll with the conversation as I put in the numbers to take a look at if there's been any changes in these stats. Jackson Bigwood with the name of the week. Yeah, Mickey. Fat Guy was really enjoying it in the Discord today. Fair, losing weekend, but not horrible. Well, as long as it's not horrible, Mud. You're still going to, even the Fat Guy and I have, if there's 21 weeks in a year, we're going to lose probably 10 of those weeks. It's just how it is. In the NBA, I do have my saveometric wagering, but I think it is much easier to do that there. Yeah, you've always mentioned that, Eric. You always say that you find the NBA to be your strongest suit. You like Johnson Bigwood better? Okay. I've got the data for NBA. I just need to go through it. So I'll be able to have a little more concrete evidence to back that up, Eric, once I actually take the time aside and take a look at the NBA market, at least for the past season. And you think the NBA line setters are the best? Hey, Untouchable. Welcome to stream. MLB, you have to get the underdogs or better market. MLB definitely has like the tightest odds. Like I think at Pinnacle, it's the juice is only minus 104, and for NFL it's minus 105. So they definitely feel most confident about baseball. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what they have basketball at. I think it's settled at minus 105. And Untouchables leaning Tampa Bay for some reason. Yeah, like I said, market-wise, I'd say New Orleans has a slight edge, but not enough for a bet either way. I'm assuming Breeze is playing. I haven't heard otherwise. I feel like that line would have shifted a lot if Breeze wasn't playing. They've got Breeze listed as the starter, so I haven't checked the inactives. Let me just check. Does the NFL not have who's inactive on their site anymore? Oh yeah, here they do. Drew Brees is playing. He's not inactive at least, so it's most likely he's playing. It's actually weird. They only have 3 players listed here, so let me check one other spot. It only has the Saints. It says the Saints only have 3 inactives. I'm not sure how that works. Mickey likes short division road dogs, especially with the line move in their favor. Yeah, that's the one thing I've been telling everyone today is that if I had to bet, which I'm not betting tonight, is I would take the Saints at 3-point underdogs. Do you really dress up like the Grand Wizard and manage the fat guy in the Western Canadian area? I wouldn't say that. The fat guy's he's his own man. He doesn't need a wizard. Bear with me, guys, as I get the Week 9 data in from today's games. There were some excellent games today. New York Giants Washington was a fun game. It was really nice. I'm a sucker for Alex Smith, so I love watching him play. Seattle Buffalo was an exciting game, even though Buffalo kind of pulled away, but Russell Wilson didn't let Seattle out of that game. Baltimore Indy was interesting. Indy had such a grasp on that game, and I just don't know if his name's escaping me, but Indy's quarterback is just it's disappointing. I know one of you guys can tell me who it is. Phillip Rivers, there it is. All he needs is a good speed kick to go for. Yeah, to go far. Mickey said, I got to go see if I'm going to bet on this windy under. Yeah, Mickey, let us know. Let us know if you do, because if you do, I will too. Zipvono, seems like this is a weird week for football. I definitely, definitely not exactly. The public definitely got a hit today. That's for sure, especially during the early games. Dustin, what's going on? He said, guys, I got another correlated parlay to go through. Tampa Bay over 27 and Brady over 2.5 passing touchdowns. Tampa Bay to win. All this combined for plus 216. It's nice. Anytime you can get a correlated parlay to go through, why not? Indy's D got tired from being on the field so long in the second half. That totally makes sense, Mud. And such a big proponent of time of possession and teams controlling time of possession. The Panthers did an unbelievable job in that first half of controlling time of possession against the Chiefs. The Panthers played to win today, and they were really damn close to pulling it off. And the Las Vegas LA Chargers game, that game was awesome. I'm sure offenses do get tired, but it's something that Richard Sherman talked about once. He wrote a blog post and he talked about the 5 toughest players to play against. And the one thing that Richard Sherman always stressed is that most defensive players, like especially corners, linebackers, safeties, like they don't come off the field. And if you look at snap counts for wide receivers, like even guys like even some of the most dominant players, and one guy that really comes to mind is Julio Jones. Like Julio Jones will only play like 70% of snaps. Like he comes off for breathers even on offense. And what they'll do is they'll bring in like young speedy receivers who play maybe 10 snaps a game just to run Sherman off the line, 10 times. Because like Sherman doesn't have a choice. He has to cover. Doesn't matter who he's playing against. He has to cover. And if that guy wants to run 50 yards downfield and they're in man, like Sherman's got to do a 50-yard sprint while Julio gets to rest on the sidelines. So the offenses do get a little bit of a you can get breaks on offense, and like you'll see like obviously running backs get spelled all the time. Especially think of like the home run hitting running backs, like even a guy like Antonio Gibson for Washington. Like I know that his snaps get cut back, and I don't know if it's correlated to like after big plays, but usually when running backs have a big play, they'll usually get replaced on the next play just to make sure someone's fresh. And even some teams this year have gone to the strategy where they're playing like their backup running back in the first half just so their star guy can get touches in the second half. So Mickey said the winds are at 17 miles per hour, and he bet the under. So I'm going to jump on as well. I'm going to put 1 unit on the under in this game. So it's under 51. I'll put 1 unit on that. So 1 unit under 51 based off of weather, thanks to the awesome Mickey Hill. And that's that weather part is maybe the reason why the Saints have gone from 5.5 down to 3-point underdogs. So just something to keep in mind as this game plays out. Yeah, Eric, I always recommend against parlays, but the only thing about parlays is if you can get a correlated parlay, like essentially exactly what Dustin has there as far as passing touchdowns and the over, like those are two things you shouldn't be able to correlate together, because it's more likely than not if Brady gets more than 2.5 passing touchdowns, they're probably going to have more than 27 points. And as the other example is you could bet the Tampa Bay under, and you could bet Brady under 2.5 passing touchdowns, and you'd probably also have a positive result. So the likelihood of Brady having less than 2.5 passing touchdowns and more than 27 points isn't that great. So that's the only time where it's really, really worth doing parlays. It's just so a lot of books don't let you do it. Eric said, do you think to have a winning year in NFL wagering, you have to cash in on a few games +3 better on the money line? It definitely helps, especially at 2.5. At 2.5, like +2.5 down to money line. Like I just take the money line. And it looks like we've got the fat guy joining us. Just be one moment. What's going on?
Yeah, whatever.
We are live.
Yeah. I was just setting up my TV. a lot of audio equipment in this room right now, and so just getting things worked out. I'm still on a garbage mic right now, guys, but I don't know if you've noticed, we got the bad boy right here. I'm just waiting for an interface thing. It'll hopefully come on Thursday, but I don't know what the hell that means according to Amazon.
Oh, Mudhole just dropped the hammer. He said all NBC talking heads are on the Bucks. That's an automatic for me. New Orleans Saints Moneyline play. I'm only going to do one unit, but anytime, every person.
Bad line, Big Rye. You had to get it early, pal. What are you doing?
No, Moneyline plus 156 on the Moneyline.
Okay, I kind of like that. All right.
I'm jumping on that, as well as Mickey Hill convinced me to get on the under, which is 51 because of weather concerns in Tampa Bay.
Something's going on with Action Network, by the way, going back to what Mickey said.
Well, I still have the betting numbers, Mickey. So, like, for instance, on tonight's game, as of now, there's 24,323 bets on the Saints-Bucks game. So it might just be where you're looking for it, Mickey. I know they're always changing their user interface, so it's just a thing where sometimes they miss opportunities displaying their data. It's up to 25,000 now. 42% of bettors are on the Saints. 38% of the money is on the Saints. Eric's asking if I was on my own tonight because the fat guy found a fat girl.
She's skinny. I've got the problem. She's skinny and young. I don't know how the hell I'm pulling this off. Standard fat guy. I've been out punting the coverage for some years now.
I always have trouble with the Action Network app, Mickey. So I'm looking on desktop, and that's probably the difference. Yep, there is a fat girl. Look at how well the fat guy is shaving.
No, she did it yesterday. Telling you, she's skinny. She's like $130.
Yeah, and I'm 6'5".
I am 6'5".
I know you're 6'5". We're eye to eye here.
Yeah,
I'm Big Rye.
Yeah, it's Big Rye and the fat guy. You're Big Rye. It makes sense.
Fat girls are more fun.
I've never been my thing.
Oh, Dylan has an important announcement to make, so everyone keep quiet and stream. We got to listen to this.
Is.
Hold your comments until after Dylan's done.
Please retain all tickets.
Go Dillian.
I like that name.
I love that too.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Drum roll is right.
Oh, I was gonna do that one, Jay, but stop the music. By God. Is Dylan straight now? Is that going to be the new thing? Did he fool us all?
Maybe he spent last night with Chase Daniel, and that's the reason why Stafford had to come back and play.
Yeah. Really gummed up the offense for the Lions, eh? Anyone that bet the Bucks tonight might as well PayPal me their money. You have to put money up, buddy. That's how gambling works, right? It's called Skin in the Game. Great book, by the way, by Talib.
Untouchable asking if Dylan transitioned, which I think is spot on. And then Dylan Toddfield posting his actual email address in chat. So have fun with that, guys.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Oh, I do. I
He
definitely
might transition and he loses a bet. Yeah. Listen, maybe the new song for Dylan instead of the X-Files should be Goodbye Horses.
I'm going to have to check that song out.
That's a Silence of the Lambs joke. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
Big Rye.
I don't get a lot of things.
I know.
And
we
jokes
know.
are one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy loss for you. Man, you talk a lot of stuff about a 54-46 game. You know what I mean? And like that's on the good end. All right, Dylan. Here we go. I got a question for you. All right, DTF. What should the spread be? What should the spread be then? If you're not satisfied with the one now, what should the spread be? Should we pick 'em? There you go. Mickey Hill picked up on it. Yeah, that's the exact one. Q Lazarus. Great song. A little weird. I'm wearing my lucky John Travolta Nicolas Cage shirt, if you guys can't tell. So I don't think I'm losing tonight.
The Dylan Clark, congratulations on that win. That was a...
What did he hit?
Well, the Steelers won tonight.
Yeah.
That's despite like the line and stuff, like how that game went, it was nice. It really, really nice as a Steelers fan.
I don't know. I didn't like some of those penalties. Dylan is at least like I got to give him credit here, man. Every week I do. It surprised me. I thought he was going to say Saints -7, but pick 'em. I don't think that's that crazy to, you know what I mean? Yes. Zid homo. What? The pot calling the kettle there, Dylan? Oh, man. I love his channel.
Yeah, he's taken his people back 20 years with that.
I only slept for 3 hours, but this is great.
All right, it looks like the game has started, or at least bets have been taken down. I should say that. So kickoff is just around the corner. How about Jake Luton?
Jake Luton?
Luton.
First play of the game?
Pretty good. How about Gilbert Grapes or Garrett Gilbert or whoever played quarterback for Dallas?
Gilbert Grape?
He looked pretty good today.
Oh, Mickey, I'm looking forward to it. You know that. I can't look now because I need I need to wait till the last second. I can't let it simmer, you know. I know I've seen one really good one already. So I'm curious I'm curious what's going to come. The viewers are good with the callbacks, Big Rye. Like there's something stupid I say during the show or whatever.
Yeah. Jackson was all over me for saying Washington in the video.
Yeah, that was such a small like I don't even know, malpropriism. Is it even? I don't even know if that qualifies.
And for me, I'm good for 2 or 3 in a video.
Yeah, you're the Joe Biden of this.
I am
of this encounter.
I finally saw him speak, and I don't know how he won, but he did.
I swear he said Broncos, probably.
I probably said Broncos too.
He's got a whole bunch of like words, like buzzwords that he messes up every time. And so sometimes I think about just like putting them on and trying to get him to say them for our own enjoyment, but it would be too much of a detraction. Maybe later on maybe later on in the at the end of the show I'll start setting them up.
Trevor...
They were playing They were playing O Fortuna, by the way, in this stadium. If anyone doesn't know that song, you should look it up. This is going to be a very epic game, apparently.
This is heavily bet game, by the way, guys. It's 28,485 bets have been placed on this game.
Is this a home game for the Saints, considering the proximity to Dylan Todd Field?
Dylan's probably at the game. I don't even know if there's fans or not, but he's probably at the game.
Dylan's live streaming on Grinder. You know who should be playing special teams? Antonio Brown. That's how he started, and he ain't above that anymore. I can tell you that right now.
I don't know like what we're gonna see from Antonio Brown, but I'm definitely excited that he's back playing games.
Dylan's in the pirate ship. I gotta move. These headphones are just like an inch too short, but I'll figure it out. Is it normal for the best players to play special teams? Not really, but I mean, sometimes like in key, like games that were like they must wins, you sometimes see like I guess like highly touted skill players jump that were on special teamers jump back in, kind of like Deshaun Jackson, stuff like that. But Brown was a 6th-round pick, Zitvono, so he wasn't like he's from Central Michigan. He wasn't like a thing, and then he became the best receiver in the league for a couple years. So then I guess it's kind of beneath him almost, right? It could have been a hold too. Dude, look at the star-studded team of the Bucs.
Why is LaShawn McCoy out there?
No, it's Ronald Jones, but I'm saying like you got Gronk, Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, LaShawn McCoy. It's ridiculous as far as like star power. I would say Zitvono, it's between receiver and cornerback. They used to do a lot of oddly enough, cornerbacks used to do it a lot. Cornerbacks are usually the fastest by a small margin, so it kind of makes sense. But I think they're trending more to receivers because it kind of makes sense. You're more used to having a ball in your hand. Running back, I always thought would be a better returner, but it's less used. It's less used. It's the big three, though, right? So it's one of those three positions. In an emergency situation as safety, I guess.
Yeah, it's mostly for kick returns, corners most common. For punt returns, I'd say receivers are most common.
Yeah, but I can't remember any good cornerback kick returns. We got a 3-and-out from the Bucs. Nice start.
Devin Hester.
Well, Devin Hester
comes to mind.
Devin Hester became a receiver though. He got drafted as a corner though.
Yeah, but he
didn't really play receiver.
He was a gadget guy on offense. At least until like at the end, he became like a full-time receiver, and it wasn't great. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, Adoree Jackson for Tennessee. But I think Khalif Raymond does it now. I don't know.
Patrick Peterson was at least a punt returner.
Corner. Yeah, he's not anymore, but he was. Yeah. Yeah, it would make sense that makes total sense. If a corner is gassed, yeah. Corners are probably the most athletic players on the field. That would be that's what I think. They're lightning fast and agile. They have to be because the rules are stacked against you. It's twice as hard playing corner as it is receiver.
And then most running backs are like like the prototypical running back now is like 6'2", 6'3", like 220, 230, and they're just not built to do kick returns. Whereas receivers are usually like they're a lot skinnier, like more close to 200 pounds, faster. Corners are usually a little shorter, but usually have like the best overall athleticism as far as like speed and agility.
Speed and agility, yeah, for without question.
Mickey, for people that have signed up to our YouTube membership, we've opened up a Discord channel, and
so it's a perk. It's probably the most used perk, actually.
Yeah, and Discord is like it's like a
What
chat
a play.
application. Nice
Why
job
do
by Breeze.
Simo's got a great question. Why do you think there aren't more receivers over 6'6"? I don't know. I've always wondered that. There used to be there were two. There was a guy that was 6'9" on the Eagles. This was in the 80s. Mickey Hill would refresh me on that. He had very good success. And then the Atlanta Falcons had a guy who was 6'6", 6'7", a white guy named Brian Finneran. He's on he became like a Madden fantasy player, even though he didn't have much success in the NFL itself. Yeah, Big Rye can put it in the link. So I don't know why you wouldn't, right? Just for like, but it is trending in that way, Zitvono. Like, look at DK Metcalfe. Like, DK Metcalfe's success is going to change the position. That's what I believe, anyways.
Talking about Metcalfe, like,
yeah,
is Metcalfe the best receiver in football right now?
No, I wouldn't say that, but he's going to be. You know, and don't forget, guys like Deebo Samuel's a big guy too. Doesn't have the height, but I mean, like, these are heavy receivers. They have power. They have yards after the carry. Like Jitterbugs, I don't know. I think that's going to be. I just find it less optimal. If you wouldn't mind posting that link for Mickey, that'd be great, please. Boom. Taysom Hill, 3rd and short. I like that they do this. It's hurt Breeze's fantasy value, but from a game theory perspective, I don't think there's much better than this. What a great drive from the Saints.
You got a feeling that the Saints have had this game circled on their calendar.
Oh, for sure.
For a while.
That wasn't a very good ball by Taysom Hill. That could have been a touchdown if he let it right. But that's the look that they got, right? And who was that Cook against Levante David or Devin White? That's a matchup you'd want to win as a Bucs coach or fan. Yeah, probably. Chances are, if the Saints blow out the Bucs, chances are we are going to be betting against them next week. Maybe not in the opening line, but on the mature line. Kamara for MVP. I don't think he's in the conversation. Whoa, Mickey Hill, thank you for joining, sir.
Thank you, Mickey. It's
wow,
really appreciated.
Oh, and Mickey, also, there are some custom emojis. I don't know what an emoji is, but it looks like a small JPEG to me. And there's a few of them. Here they are.
Dylan, didn't you? I thought you yourself said that Russell Wilson was MVP.
Yeah.
On last stream. Has that changed?
Hard to argue that. Dude, this sports guy one is so funny. Oh, like holy man. Good job, Big Riot.
I think we've got room for one more. So if anyone has a request for an emoji for chat, let me know.
And the Saints score. Okay, Dylan is being reasonable again. Kamara is at least in the conversation. Yes, I would say so. I think he's second as far as running backs go. Dalvin Cook, you'd have to tip your hat to just with these last few performances. Kamara's up there, though. There's no receiver killing it enough. Hopkins would be the most. What a start. What a start. Maybe we should add, yeah, maybe Mickey can pick the next emoji.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's the plan here. Yeah, you did it right. So Mickey, we're gonna see those emojis that I posted on my personal account. We have there's 6 of them. Yeah. There's a bunch of Dylan with his eyebrows shaved off, courtesy of you. If you have something funny you can think of, we can add another one. We have the sports guy, Peyton Manning. One of me as a wrestler, and a defensive tackle that has yet to be named.
I thought we would try something new.
That's weird.
Yeah, guys, we still have
Eggs for dinner isn't weird. You're weird for thinking it's weird.
yeah, Buccaneers are plus 136 on the live.
Think it'd be nice if Dad looked up to you for a change?
I bought back, so it's already an automatic win for that game.
Celebrating the smooth sophistication of Scotland with the sweet kick of Kentucky. Glenfiddich.
It's see when you're typing in the bottom, there's a there should be an option for it. You might be on your phone though, you usually are. So under say something, there should be emojis. There's the YouTube ones, and then there's the big Ryan the Fat Guy custom ones.
It is not Jason Peters, but Jason Peters is a good guess.
Fix auto. The first words that should come to mind after an accident.
Yeah.
Introducing Budweiser Zero.
Let me see. Or actually, Fat Guy, would you be able to pull it up on your phone and just double check to see if you could figure out how to
Yeah.
do an emoji? I don't know if I'd have access on mine.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Kraft Dinner. Now with more cheese, so your KD tastes even cheesier. It's gotta be KD.
12 missing females within 100 miles.
The other thing too, Mickey, is check the community tab on our page, and you'll be able to find the link to join the Discord.
Yeah, I like that idea, Eric. Yeah, that is total proof from taking Detroit.
Bit of good tidings from this year, ending the pace until becoming a
And Untouchable, thanks for the heads up on the Bucks live line. That's already a nice win for today.
All right, Mickey, when you click chat, there's like a happy face next to the chat. If you click on the happy face, it'll geez, my phone's I got it going on 3 things now. If you click the happy face, where it says chat publicly as Mickey Hill, on the left, it'll bring up the emojis, and then you're good. Yeah, I think they should have been -2, Dylan. I haven't changed my stance on that. I thought 4 is too much. I really did. It's one result though. Like, I'm not letting this game sway me. Dude, is Brown taking Godwin snaps? This looks bad. Wow. Oh, Chase Daniels? That's going to be tough to come up with something better. We might have to switch Peyton Manning and Chase Daniel.
Yeah, that's always an option too.
Because Peyton Manning is great, but Chase Daniel is the face of this show. There we go. That's the best one. That one in the Dylan Todd field. You know what I imagine the sports guy like? Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison, where he has a list of everyone he's going to kill. And he's just sitting alone in a room, in a dark room with lipstick on, you know, slowly going to kill everyone on his list. And then Billy apologizes and he gets his name crossed off. I think we've been added to the top of the sports guy's list. Wow.
10-yard penalty. Second down. That is the left tackle, Donovan Smith. All right, let's take a look at this. Jones is the running back. We're going to see Fournette as well. Evans and Godwin. Godwin coming back. Gronkowski, of course, tight end along with Cameron Brate and the guys up front. And they're missing Ali Marpet, the left guard. He'll miss his first game of the season. Otherwise, that line has been intact. The same 5 since opening day. Brady throws caught up at the 20.
I'm liking this Saints start to this game.
Backfield for a short game.
Yeah, and let's hang just a minute on Ali Marpet. Marpet was their best offensive lineman so far this season, and this is a power running game. This is a man blocking, come off the ball.
I got to figure out this green screen. This is brutal.
Now Joe Haig, who had been the
Sounds good, Mickey. We'll see you soon.
bonus tight end out there, comes in to play that left guard position.
Here's an interesting tidbit. A little bit of trivia for you guys, Fat Guy included. Who is the best team against the spread this season?
Best team against the spread this season.
People that were handicapping this
I'm going to go with the New York Giants.
thought it might have gone the other way, especially when you see the weather. You got to think, Tom Brady
The Giants are 6th, or sorry, tied for 5th.
I like Dylan's guess. Dolphins is a good one.
Dolphins are tied for 2nd.
Wow. Carolina? No, they got 2 losses.
Carolina is 5-4 against the spread.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not that good.
The best team against the spread is 6-1-1. If that's any help.
Eludes the first man and then steps out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
Is it the Steelers? Is it that easy?
The Steelers are 6-2 against the spread, and they took a loss today against Dallas. But they
Yeah,
were
they
tied.
did.
They were tied for the, or they were in the lead before today's games.
Seattle hasn't covered the last 2 games. This is tough.
Seattle's 5-3 against the spread.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, Mickey Hill
Mickey-
did it. Mickey
Mickey's
Hill's
got
in.
it.
He's got it.
Jackson says, "Is it the Bears?" It's not the Bears. The
No, they
Bears
got too many
are
losses.
Bears are 4-4-1 against the spread.
Vikings started 0-4 against the spread.
Zap says Vikings. It's definitely not the Vikings. They're 4-4 against the spread. Eric said Miami. They're tied for 2nd.
Green Bay?
Green Bay's tied for 2nd. Eric
It's
said
not
it's
the
not
Jets.
the Jets. The Jets are 1-7. The Dallas Cowboys picked up their first win against the spread today.
Spread, yeah.
Mudhole with the win. It's the
Oh,
Cincinnati Bengals who are 6-1-1
Nice.
against the spread. Mostly thanks to Zach Taylor and to Joe Burrow.
Oh, you actually know what? I'm a little disappointed in myself. I forgot that we had talked about this a few days ago, but a lot of stuff's flying around in there.
Well, I think the surprising thing when I was looking at this info is that, to me, Zach Taylor, to me, the coach of the year is between Zach Taylor and Flores.
Flores is leading for me. I got to be real.
Sorry,
Tomlin,
Mickey.
you might.
Let's see.
Mick-
Well, Mickey's probably heard the answer now, but who do you think the best team against the spread is this year?
Because of RBC training ground. You're on the world stage.
I was
Further
thinking
in-
the same thing, Mud.
Yeah, we brought it up in the Discord chat, Mud. We were talking about how this is unbelievable. Like, Tua kind of had a redemption game today, very strong. Herbert,
Yeah, it is the Bengals.
yeah, it is a Bengals.
Fat guy was a year early.
Yeah.
So you guys heard it here first that Dallas is going to be the best team against the spread next season.
Yeah, Mickey, we all said G-Man. Me, you, Jackson, and Zaps all thought Giants. Giants seem to cover every week, though. Or we've been on the right side of them, at least. Maybe that's our recency bias. Last 2 games, they covered.
Yeah,
They
Giants
didn't cover
are
week
6-3.
1 against Pittsburgh. 6-3 is good, though. I want to start fading them, though, because they're a good, bad team. This is John Hussey. I want
The
old
one thing
refs.
the one thing I will say is that those lines that I said were based off of opening lines, but the Steelers with closing lines are actually 7-1 against the spread. So technically, the Steelers with closing lines are the best team against the spread. So it just depends on
way to rig it.
Yeah, it just depends on which lines you guys are actually following along with.
I think I'm the same too, Jackson. I only bet against them. Our only loss of them was against Pittsburgh, and I like that game too. Week 1.
That's the opposite of what I'm usually every year, Jackson. For some reason, the Giants were the one team that always managed to. I always managed to be on the wrong side of the Giants.
Who is mine?
With Eli.
Mine was the Andrew Luck Colts. I was wrong every time. So Discord is like it's an app where you it's like a chatting app, right? You can get notifications. So there's like there's a Big Rye and the Fat Guy group, and all the members are in it, and then we chat about more or less gambling on game day and stuff like that, right? So if you look, if you have an Apple phone or whatever, you can download Discord for free on in the Apple Store or Google Play, depending on what you have. And then Big Rye will send you a link once you have it installed, and off we go. In the league where they play for pay. I think I'm going to watch one of those shows start to finish. They're like 40 minutes, Big Rye.
Yeah, it's I know a couple guys that ramble on for 40 plus minutes.
Yeah,
too
I wonder
football.
who could just speak nonsense for that long. I wonder what show that reminds you of.
Discord's
an app.
So here's the link. So follow that link, Mickey, and you'll be able to figure out what's the best way to download it for depending on what you're using. But it's free. It's free, and a lot of people use it for communication. So it's a good way for us to be able to communicate back and forth outside of YouTube.
Oh, dude, now we got the expert. Jackson Littlewood is... I don't know where he has the time, man. He probably sleeps like 2 hours a night. They vary a lot in length, but this week was 20 minutes, but it got to 50 once.
Oh, man.
Because he's so well read. He goes to school, hangs out with us. The guy does it all, man. He drinks too. He lives in Ireland. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. 3rd and 4, a key one, the 20-yard line. I'm the sports guy's talker. Dude, Murray had the first down and he stepped backwards. Dude, where are they spotting this ball?
I think Murray was adjusting for earthquakes because that didn't make sense.
No drinking game tonight.
Well, not yet.
Yeah. I don't want to fire it up. You guys are going to kill it. It's tough to get through that show.
Jerry Jones to be the only owner to ask the commissioner if he can pay to remove his 2 wins.
Minus 110. Is it 4th? Yeah.
Who's Cincinnati this year? Who's a team that you've taken?
Question. I took them every. That keeps disappointing.
I think
guess
the
the Jets, but I'm
are
not
closest. You went against them 1 week.
Last
week.
Who's bad? Oh, Washington, maybe.
No, we've definitely taken Washington.
No. I took Cincinnati all year last year, and they went like 3-13 against the spread. Every week I took them. I think one of you guys even made a joke name about it. It was pretty funny. I think I made it name of the week actually once.
I like where Eric's going here. 4th and incest.
Well, I mean, Taysom Hill did go to BYU. You know, not drawing any conclusions, but. They got it. There's no way. There's no way.
Tampa thinks they've stopped him. Of course, the Saints think they have it. They only needed a couple of inches.
There is no way that's shorts. I think it is a Jets, Eric.
So Mike Burton,
I think they bring up the election. Yeah. First down. Thank you.
the other guys are going, no, it's our ball.
Who's Burton?
First down. Just barely.
I don't think
Yeah, he got it. He totally got it.
in these situations. Like, how do you really know where that ball is, right? How do you really
Yeah,
know
Drake, they bring up the election. That's another one I'm scared of.
wherever they put it, it was just enough.
It was a typo.
Yeah.
The
So first down.
Eric thinks they should challenge.
No, I think he's just
or
referencing that
saying
they
there
are.
is a challenge. Okay.
This is a brutal challenge if they do. How are you gonna overturn that?
That ball disappears in that pile of humanity.
I love Bruce on the sideline going, look, dude, that did not cross that line. You can just see his look.
What did Goodell phone down and say challenges? I need another commercial revenue.
The
Desperation already. I like where Mudhole's going with this.
so taking a little bit of a different look at this game, from a betting market perspective, Tampa Bay is 4th in the league as far as percentage of bets. So they're the fourth most popular team to bet this year, outside of Green Bay, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh. So Tampa Bay falls 4th. As far as the percentage of money that's on Tampa Bay, they're actually 13th. So it shows you that a lot more of the public is on Tampa Bay than pros.
That makes
it's
sense. The
also-
pros don't like Tampa Bay. That makes sense. In relation, they don't like the prices that Tampa Bay gets.
And also, Tampa Bay receives the 4th most bets out of any team,
Starts as a game.
just trailing behind the Rams. The Rams are the most heavily bet teams as far as number of bets. And a lot of the number of bets has to do with when teams play. So Rams get a lot of afternoon games or primetime games so far. Green Bay is 2nd, Seattle is 3rd, and Tampa Bay is 4th. And now let's compare that to the Saints. The Saints are the 11th most bet team percentage-wise, the 20th most bet team money-wise. So lots of lots of sharps not on New Orleans as far as betting money goes. But the Saints received the 6th most bets. So lots of public bettors have been on the Saints this year, but money-wise, it's usually against whoever the Saints are playing is received more money, which makes sense too as far as against the spread. The Saints are 2-5 this year so far. Compared to
Sorry,
Tampa.
go ahead.
Compare that to Tampa. Tampa is 4-4 against the spread.
Before we answer Dustin's question, Mickey needs a link for to join the Discord group. If you could
Yeah, for
kindly
sure.
help him out.
Mickey, I'll email you the link.
Dustin, he gets it. We get it from the Action Network, but a lot of the stuff Big Rye is telling you is custom to Big Rye and the Fat Guy statistics based on the data that we've scraped. So Big Rye's got some big things in the hopper. Yeah, I got Saints +5 zaps. So we'll see. I don't know. I was choked. I had Chargers earlier today. It was a good day though. I think I went 5-1 during the morning, and then 1-2 on the afternoon. What are you gonna do? I wanted the Chargers to close that game out, just because it's been such a long time coming, right? Just brutal losses. Man, Cook almost gets in. Is it a fumble? Man. fumble on the 2. Like, that's like a 12% win probability drop right there.
I go up to the moon, I'm a hero. Our water tank is empty. I've started up the urine recycling.
That is very salty.
I think he's on it. He's not a good multitasker, Mickey, so you can usually figure it out.
Tested recipes and fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered to your door.
Man, I see a lot of TikTok commercials. Is it a thing? Am I that old?
.ca. Dinner solved.
Just sent it, Mickey. The TikTok is very, very popular. It's very, very popular with a younger demographic than you and I.
I know. I'm the oldest man in his 30s.
Then it becomes a hobby. Then more than a hobby.
I still read paper books. Like, what a loser, eh?
Because it's a training ground. You're on the world stage. Unlock your potential and sign up for free at rbctrainingground.ca.
I'm 45 and I'm down with the talk. All right. The only
Yeah.
social media I have is this. Is YouTube. No Facebook, Instagram, nothing.
The TikTok's been highly scrutinized because of security reasons.
Jackson's
It's,
20. It's way too smart for that age. Yikes.
The TikTok takes like more information from you than any other app, so it's a very dangerous app to have downloaded or to use on your phone.
With a shocking, jaw-dropping ending that will have everyone sane.
Yeah, Dustin put it pretty bluntly. China made TikTok to spy on us and quickly realized we are not a threat at all. We are dumb as fuck. That's pretty much right, Dustin. That's pretty much spot on.
Oh, Big Ry, we're Canadian. It's way different.
Well, it's the same for us. It's the exact same for us.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Does it touch the ground before he loses control of the football? Really hard to tell on these.
It sure looks like a fumble.
hands to me. I don't think it's
I don't know.
he's down
I think I look like he looked down on that one.
to move.
Well, nothing touches until like his knees don't touch the ground.
Yeah, it
'Cause
does.
They're on top of the player.
No, it looks like it. It's not. The other angle showed it wasn't. So I have no idea.
Not enough evidence? Let's find out.
After review, it was determined that the runner's knee was on a player.
Wow, that was an advanced explanation. Beetlejuice got punked.
Over at the 2-yard line. Cooks fighting to get into the end zone, and it cost him.
Yeah, there's an old saying in the National Football League: you have to know when to get on the ground because what the defense wants is to hold
You,
you up.
you got to know when to fold them. Is essentially what Collinsworth just said.
Yeah.
Jones right there. That Saints defense. Take a look right here. Pro Football
We have a public fan ranking system. So that's kind of what Big Ry was pulling numbers from. It's all on everything's done on Google Sheets, everything we do.
the 5 DBs include
Oh, it is a good intermission for Dylan's power rankings.
his career. For the Saints went to Philadelphia, won a ring there, and now is back in the Bayou. Brady slips away to avoid the sack.
Oh man. Mickey is a green now. JJ almost got a pick there, eh? Dude, I look like a hoarder with all these boxes behind me.
It's you look like some sort of 2020 version of like a mad data scientist.
There's just way too much stuff in here. I gotta figure out. I'm slowly getting rid of it. Slowly. I gotta get my sister to get rid of all this junk. Third and 8 here. Yeah! Saints D! Come on, everybody!
getting it done.
The Saints D is really getting it done.
For the third time, fourth down.
You know, it's interesting. We just have not seen the kind of energy in Malcolm Jenkins so far.
Yeah,
Work on Gronk
yeah, Dylan. What's the power rankings this week?
through there. When he let that one go to the sideline, I was like, uh-oh, this better be.
Yeah, I think
you should-
so. You should call TLC, I think.
If
Oh
there's-
my God. Oh, I don't know. Mickey broke the internet just now.
I don't get why you just posted the same picture twice.
I know. What a weirdo, eh? He's so out of touch.
Fielded on the run. And Harris takes it to the 35, setting up a short field for Drew Brees and company. 2.5 left in the quarter. 7-0 Saints.
That's so funny. Those emojis are amazing. He did spend some time in South Florida. He sure did. Has anyone seen them in the same room?
No, I have not. I definitely haven't seen a picture together.
Saints, Chiefs, Ravens, Bucks, Steelers, Seahawks, Bills, Packers, Titans, Dolphins. No Vikings in there. Okay. Dolphins
creep into the top 10.
Eric, I've always had that idea, and I've never, I've never done enough research on it because it's hard. It would be hard to, because coach rating has been something Big Ryan and I have tackled, but have never found success with a good system. Because you can't go like, there's never a big win-loss sample, so a lot of like your judgments on a coach are almost arbitrary. However, though, you could do it analytically, i.e., like thank you, just gave me an idea. Like for instance, time, distance, like management stuff. Like when they don't go for it on fourth, you could put that analytics into like how negative EV it is, and perhaps you could extrapolate like how negative EV all their decisions maybe are, right? Because there's a lot of times coaches don't go on for it on fourth down, and it's brutal. Or for instance, some of their play calling in a 2-minute drill when they take a timeout, all that kind of stuff. It would be a lot of work, but it would be worth it. So I'm gonna keep that up here. It'll be on the laundry list of stuff to do, but that's an interesting idea.
Well, just
go ahead.
Even to add on to that is that the easiest way to get an edge, at least at the start, and I would have a hard time believing this isn't built into the line already, would be to find out which coaches like to receive and which coaches like to defer. Because if you're betting first and third quarter and you're cutting down the number of possessions, like there is going to be advantage on a coach that he wants to start with the ball, especially if they're playing against another coach that wants to defer, because it gives you a huge edge as far as number of possessions in a first quarter or a third quarter, or potential for possessions.
Very, very good point, Big Rye. Going back, I agree with what Zab said. I think Chiefs are the best team in the league. Also, Mickey, do you have any ideas for a funny emoji to commemorate your joining the group? Well, the Celtics have Brad Stevens, who's, from what I understand, is one of the best. Aren't the best coaches the Raptors and the Celtics?
Yeah, I was going to say him and Nick Nurse stand out to me. I'm sure there's other coaches, but those guys are relatively new and have had a lot of success.
The best sports gambler of all time was a basketball bettor, Geralabus Vulgaris. Geralabob. He's a good Canadian boy, much like us. A lot of his plays were solely against a certain group of coaches.
Well, it's his famous bets where he had his most success was betting second half over-unders on 3 specific coaches. I think one of the coaches was Byron Scott. I couldn't tell you the other 2 off the top of my head, but it was definitely a huge advantage for him. And I think he said it only lasted like half a season. And once the books caught up to what he was doing, like the advantage was gone. But it had to do with coaching, and it had to do with pace of play after halftime. So it's he was able to make a lot of money betting the over-unders on those coaches in the second half of games.
Dylan, Jared Cook fumbled on the 2-yard line, but then the Bucs are at a 3-and-out, and the Saints are driving again. Hopefully, the Saints can make it 14-0 the start of the second quarter. That'd be nice for everybody.
It's pretty awesome that at the start of the year, I don't think a lot of people would think that the Bills could have been in the top 5. It's they've had some really nice wins this year.
There's a big Kamara run, Dylan.
Josh Allen's been he's played some games this year where he is a serious MVP candidate. Untouchable gets his wish. A Tampa Bay New Orleans Saints touchdown. That's going to put them up 13-0, barring an extra point.
Jay has been very clairvoyant in some of these spots. Of course, he's picked, where it's in his favor, but I mean, a Troutman touchdown. No one was seeing that. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Eric, for not spoiling it for us. So far behind. Was that Levante David out? Yikes. Yikes, Bucks. When it rains, it pours. Getting nervous about the under. Lots of morons out there about the same. Dylan is so polarizing. It's great. All right. I think I'll give that rating a 0 eyebrows out of 6. I have tennis elbow in this one, and it isn't from playing tennis. Oh, looks like Jay gave that comment a 0 eyebrows out of 4. Dylan's a meme. He did it. He's micro famous on the internet. No one's saying that, Dustin. You know that ain't true.
I think he's going for the reverse jinx. That's my guess.
Little Caesar's new deep dish dippers. Dine on a deep dish duo divided into multiple doses to be dipped or double dipped into 2 distinct dips. Order online and get deep dish dippers for $13.99. Delivery.
I sure am, Jackson.
One is an unknown defensive player. One's Peyton Manning. It was suggested. The one with the number 2 jersey is it's a long story. I'll get to it. We have a fantasy draft with our friends. The league's done now, but what we used to do to determine draft order is there would be a WWE wrestling match through the video game, and our friend who was the commissioner would make a character for everyone. So the guy in the Johnny Manziel jersey is my character from that wrestling game. I hate Johnny Manziel too, so it was even better that he put that jersey on. And then the guy in the red shirt is that Sports Guy show that we referenced, the guy who teases and parlays everything. And I think what's his record, Jackson? Since you're his stalker, was he 80%? He hits bets at an 80% rate, 90.
I think when I checked, it was 81%.
Hard to argue with successful results.
Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, Sunday Night Football. The Brady Breeze game. And this one obviously circled when the schedule came out. It's been all Saints.
Yeah, Big Ride, bring some of these up. I gotta stop making changes on the app because I had Ayuk on one of those, and I switched him out. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference, but I mean it's annoying. I started a player that didn't even play.
Breeze 11 of 12. Brady is 2 of 7. 118 yards for Drew and 9 for
Oh, Jackson win today?
It's split 50-50. It depends on how many points Kamara, Mike Evans, and Ryan Suckup put up in this game.
He's not out of the woods yet. That's been good though, and he's got the under, so he's all in on this one.
Yeah, it looked like a bobble on the sidelines.
That's Scotty Miller, the receiver, who was forced out by Jenkins. So David is on the bench.
I got you using a combination of Dusty Rhodes moves and Kamala.
What am I, the Ugandan dream? I think Kamala is from Uganda, right? Well, he was American, of course, but
Chris Godwin, he's had concussion, hamstring, and a broken finger.
Fat Guy and Carol Baskin are in a...
are we in a barn burner?
Not quite. It looks like
Not-
you're a heavy favorite to win.
Wow, weird. I got Will Lutz, Manny Sanders.
And Kamara versus Cook. And you've already got a slight lead.
Teddy KGB, that's a great one. Let's do that. All right, Big Rye, you got to Google Rounders, Teddy KGB, John Malkovich. And there's one where he's laughing and he has his hand up like this. Or no, he says stick it in you, and he puts his hand behind his back.
Here, you guys tell me which one.
Oh, the cookie one. Oh, that'll do it. That's the best one right there. Left. Or you're right. Yeah, there you go.
This cookie one?
Yeah. One of the cookie ones. Yeah,
With
yeah.
where he's got like
Oh,
the Hawaiian
there you go.
shirt?
Actually, you know what? It's the one second row. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do the one where he tells Mike he's gonna stick it in him. It's the second row on the far side,
Which
and he's
side?
got like his mouth open. You're right.
Okay, this one right here.
Other way. Oh, I guess I got it mixed
My
up.
other right?
You're other right.
So the left. This
Yeah,
one
yeah.
here with his mouth open?
I somehow thought you were on a mirror. I'm a moron. All right. Yeah. That's the one for sure.
Pinion has averaged 41 yards per punt.
Oh, this.
His leg is warmed up for sure. This is his fourth punt.
Dude, I think the FBI is gonna break into your house for some of these Dylan photos. Holy, that was almost blocked. Was that another 3 and out?
Line drive boot. Caught at the 35.
Oh my, is that guy shifty too?
Harris.
Please, I guess you better be agile when you're like 140 pounds.
Shaken up on the play. We're back.
And Bradley Pinion's walking pretty stiff there. They're gonna have Ryan Suckup punting.
I wonder how much you'd have to pay TB12 to get him to eat an Oreo. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm upset about a whole bunch of stuff I'm not comfortable sharing with you because we're basically strangers.
Madison, I'm an alcoholic, and I'm a workout addict with daddy issues. Get into an all-new episode.
Already circling the Saints game next week on the calendar if they score here.
Then stream anytime on the all-new CTV.ca and CTV app.
You know, I want to give a shout out to in this broadcast. The Carolina Panthers.
They
Like,
play to win tonight.
They're awesome to watch. I love it. I love it. Okay, all right, Dylan. Honest question here. Saints at Carolina. What do you think the spread should be? Because everyone in this channel likes Carolina. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, Teddy Two Gloves. We're all big fans. So give us the line, Dylan. I think it should be a pick 'em. Not even joking. Maybe Saints -2 at the most. 4.5. Okay, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. I can live with that. It's a little bit skewed, but I think it's reasonable. Carolina's good. They're not to be messed with. I feel like I'm yelling because I got headphones on. I yell anyways. It's what do you do? Kamara's so slippery too.
Dylan would know.
No way that's a pick 'em. I don't know, Dylan. I said I would concede maybe up to -2. Because on the road, even though it's not much. Yeah, Teddy is one of the best covering quarterbacks there is. It's awesome. Is that Taysom Hill? I haven't seen Michael Thomas out here.
I don't know if Michael Thomas is active tonight.
I like, yeah, he was. They said he was going to play.
Oh, did they?
Unless something changed. Yeah, I am channeling my inner fat guy. I'm a fan of the coach, too. Oh, so okay. So Mickey Hill alluding that it would be a bad line of Saints -3.5, and Teddy would cover. Yeah, Michael Thomas has 3 catches. I haven't noticed. We're doing a lot of chatting. Thank you, Dylan.
Al, you're going to think this is funny, but I think Taysom Hill is one of the most intimidating runners that there is in the league. I've seen him do this so many times. 5-man rush, and as a DB, you're going, this guy outweighs.
This hurdle was awesome too.
Going low against him here. Whitehead, who's one of the toughest guys on the Bucs, there is no way he was going to slide. You could have eliminated that from any possibility. A legit
Awesome play from Breeze. Great way to dump it. Oh my God. Taysom Hill looks like he's carved out of wood.
want to know why he's a tough guy?
Looks like an MMA guy.
It doesn't look like Tom Brady's draft picture, does it?
I don't think, or yours.
Clearly not mine.
Dude, did Levante David punch him in the face by accident?
It's a tough run. It's amazing that, honestly, when they talk about who the backup is, they talk about Jameis Winston because of all the different roles.
That's the first time it's been favorable to pick the Saints, Mickey.
Speaking of Winston, he's now with the Saints and backs up Breeze at 2nd down and 10.
Manny Sanders, touchdown. Good for Fan Guys Fantasy, absolutely. That's 20 points. Woo!
Missed the last 2 games. He was on the COVID list. He comes back.
He's got a good point.
I will say I got to watch McCaffrey a little bit closer than I usually do, and he played terrific today. It's hard to argue that he's not the best running back in the league.
Yeah, you can make a case for Cook right now.
Bad game last week. He's had a good season, but no match.
Dalvin Cook's looked tremendous as well.
He looks so good today. It was unreal. I'm not even like a running back fan, but yikes. They traded John Riggins. I guess that's true. John Riggins seemed to do okay when he went over to Washington. 21-0 here. Is this a route? Can we? Nah, too early.
It's still too early. It's been an excellent start for the Saints.
Uh-oh. Okay, there's also... We could also do the Roland Walton emoji. He used to be the president of Tim Hortons, I think.
Imagine the places we'll go together. Expedia.
For me, photography
Yes, Roland.
stories. With
I don't know. That one's pretty good. What Roland is going to be the next one. See, there's a limited number, Mickey, so this is the last one, but that's pretty good. I do miss Roland. I wonder where he's been.
The more people that sign up, the more slots we unlock. So I think it said if we get 2 more people,
then
we can get more. But for now, we're maxed out, so we'd have to take ones away if we wanted to add any more.
I know who Roland Walton is. I know exactly who he is. So if you could bring up your a Google search or DuckDuckGo, I don't know what you use, Big Rye.
Yep.
Type in DB Cooper. DB Cooper, that's who Roland Walton is. Mickey will know who this is for sure. Never been caught. No one broke DB Cooper's fall. That's who Roland Walton is. It's DB Cooper. I figured it out.
The E People's Choice Awards coming Sunday, November 15th.
They are motivated right now. They look excited.
I gotta reload my
Yeah, it's disconnected for me as well.
Is the stream still going? Like, what happened?
It's back up now.
Yeah, something happened.
Julius Irving was traded for a water cooler.
Dr. J? All right. I'm sure maybe they were thirsty. I don't know. Oh, nice. I didn't think of these emojis would be anything. Pretty good so far. Drinking game. They bring up the touchdown passes.
Yeah, Hopkins.
I
has
don't
done
think
really
it's that
well.
egregious.
But he's done really well in Arizona.
No, but he means it's unfair for like it's boneheaded by the Texans.
Did the Texans get any draft picks back?
Yeah, but later ones. Herschel Walker, and I'm gonna say the Raiders traded for Carson Palmer. That's up there for worst ones. Carson Palmer didn't even last like a year and a bit. They gave up 3 first-round picks, and then they flipped him for a 7th rounder to Arizona, and he had great success. Was that the first down for the Bucs?
It sure was. We have a screen that was deflected and intercepted by the Saints. Zap says game over.
Oh my. Okay, Mickey Hill might have it. Alaska for $30 million. Yeah, nice one, Russia.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of this on tape, and the guy that comes right to mind is right there. Marcus Davenport missed the first 4 games with an elbow injury. And what happened was all the attention shifted over to Cameron Jordan. He ended up with no sacks during that period of time. Now, Trey Hendrickson ended up with 5.5, so that's all good. But this defense is getting better. It's getting healthier, and they are kicking some tail.
If we can get one more touchdown, I might call it here.
Even with the touchdown, it's still too early. The windy under's about to get blown away.
That, I don't know.
Just a fantastic play right there by Davenport to get his hand on it. And then the big monster, as Cameron Jordan called him,
Roddy White.
coming up with it. And
Miss Roddy White.
just
Roddy White created the worst bad beat I've ever taken in sports, but I can handle it. Can't hate on the man for doing his job. Oh God.
How about Breeze? 3 touchdown passes and only 3 incompletions on the night.
Those glasses or those Warby Parkers that Bruce Arians is sporting make him look like a wizard or a librarian.
Picking up big yardage on first and on second. Have been into the end zone 3 times, and the other drive was stopped at the 2 on a fumble. Kamara goes into the slot. 3 receivers to the left. Breeze steps up into the pocket. Has another first down to the 13-yard line. Emmanuel Sanders.
Is that Manny again?
Touchdown grab a couple of
Yep.
minutes ago.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
First down at the 13-yard line.
I tell you, Breeze is just feeling it. And the guy that is probably maybe the surprise star so far.
This offense is humming, Big Rye. This is a total performance of the week by a team. So far, at least.
He had 12 catches for 122 yards against the Chargers. So he's picking up right
Yeah,
where he
very strong start for the Saints.
They're
Taysom
getting
Hill
these
in it.
huge chunk plays. I'm liking it's been efficient when Taysom Hill's been in. Oh, he's gonna get in. Oh, touchdown, Jay. I need a turnover. I think you need more than that if you live bet the Bucks.
power. They run it all the time in college, right? Tim Tebow, those guys, and I tell you, Taysom Hill, when he puts his head down, it takes a man to get him on the ground.
He's carried 3 times for 38 yards.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't.
Alvin seeks the end zone, and he's in there.
That's touchdown. Touchdown. Make it 27. Will Lutz to make it 28.
And this crowd, albeit as small as it is, 15,000, they're letting the Buccaneers have it. Just getting run over.
They sure are. Give a little credit to the center. McCoy,
Dylan, I can't think of a much better start than being up 27-0.
nice little cut block coming across.
But there's still more than 4 possessions to go in this game for both sides, so anything could happen.
Are shocking the football world. I mean, this week was the week that everybody had Tampa.
They probably don't like Taysom Hill. How could they? He's not the demographic of someone you want to have success on Twitter.
8:45 left in the half. If you've just tuned in,
I think the fun term is cisgendered, Mickey.
I was just thinking the same thing, Dustin. What if Tampa Bay comes out in victory formation for the start of this drive? That would be one of the most unprecedented things you'd see in professional sports. Just both teams taking knees for the rest of the game.
There was a game like that. Like obviously not that bad, but very similar. It was Jets Bengals, week 17, and the Bengals had already made the playoffs, and the Jets needed to win, so the Bengals could choose who they wanted to play if they beat the Jets. So they purposely lost to the Jets so they could play them the next week in the playoffs, and then it was like the most cupcake vanilla. I think they only ran out of the eye. The Bucks did, and the Jets got a lead and pretty much did the same thing. I gotta find that. That was like 10 years ago. It was very interesting.
There's no such thing as an average family.
And the Jets won in the playoffs on the road anyways.
The Saints are minus 3,000 to win. Bucks are plus 13-14 on the live line. Already been bet onto 12-1.
Vanilla custard latte, espresso virtual coffee machine, rosemary focaccia, speed 2 on the KitchenAid stand mixer, red. Braised short ribs, Paterno Dutch oven, Ninja air grill, jalapeno poppers,
And this was 2009.
Eric has a question for you, fat guy. He said, to have a winning season in the NFL wagering, do you need a few money line wins at over plus 2.5 point spread?
Yeah, I would say that you do. I mean, it depends on your volume, though, right? Like, there's different ways of going. Like, you can go. I listened to a really interesting podcast on Pinnacle where it was a guy who was a stock trader. Then, sorry, I'm being long-winded, but I'm trying to give you a good answer. Long-winded. He was a stock trader. Then he was he worked for a UK book, and then he became a customer himself. And he said there's two ways of going: heavy volume or pretty much strike when the iron is hot. So if you're betting larger but smaller samples, you're more at the mercy of variance, and you would need to hit. If you were doing that strategy, you'd have to hit a few of those, right? But it's not that crazy to do so. Like, you're winning a coin flip more or less on a lot of them, right? You're gonna have to win probably 5 or 6 of those over the course of the year, I would imagine. But then there's also the volume-based one where it's not going to hurt you one way or another, right? But you're paying more. It takes more time to be volume-based, and but your losses are less magnified. So I don't think that was clear what I said, but it's the best way I can put it at this moment.
Punt, interception. 1 first down. Start the drive from the 25-yard line. Brady under pressure.
I think Jay just gave the best one-word answer I've ever seen. I'm going to parlay that 12-1 Tampa Bay win with Truman. What do you guys think? Yeah, in the league where they play, that's what I think too. My girlfriend made tacos, so I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Not to eat, of course. You know, the other thing.
He had to make a tough catch where he knew he was going to get drilled by the safety. And oh, by the way, ignore the fact that your finger's broken.
Scored 2 tonight for 27 yards. Brady in the pocket. Flares it out here to Leonard Fournette. Came over and they deal with Jacksonville. Actually, they picked him up as a free agent as Jaguars couldn't trade him. 2nd down and 2.
You know the other thing that's a little bit different here tonight, and I don't know if it's Ali Marpet.
Yeah, fat guy's all over the place. You gotta give him.
They have not even come close to dominating.
He's not always all there.
Sets up so much of that famous play.
Yeah, 10 minutes to eat a taco. Yeah, right.
Don't run, makes it harder to do those play fakes. Now they're going with the power back Fournette in there.
2nd down and 3. Give it to him again, and he'll get stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
If it was about in the league where they play, he'd be taking New Orleans money line right now.
For the Buccaneers, and of course,
He hit minus 3,000 at 80% rate.
Yeah, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. Now, when you have this kind of a lead, now you start flying around, taking chances. Let's get inside on Gronk here, who's playing with a bad right shoulder and not the blocker that he was during the course of his career until that thing heals up. So, a lot of action happening down there.
Brown in motion, and the pass goes to him.
Different points are worth different amounts, Eric, in basketball, but there's definitely not the same amount of jump as a 3-point NFL win.
Well, Dennis Allen knew that there were a whole bunch of new guys.
Yeah. Yeah, who's better on extra point defense than the Detroit Lions?
All the guys returning for the Bucs, that it would have been the diversity of receivers on the Saints that really has been the story of this game.
All right, Bucks are starting to string together a drive here. Fournette in motion.
Brady now dancing around in the pocket.
They dump it off to him.
Tries to pick up a couple
And
of yards, and he's taken down
good tackle by Jenkins.
who owns Super Bowl rings with both the Saints and the Eagles.
Untouchable put a sprinkle on Tampa Bay plus 18.5 on the live line.
He said, our defense is so different than what he did in Philadelphia. It's taken both of us a little bit of time to figure out exactly how to best use him. I would say they're starting to get those calculations going right now.
Inside 6 minutes to the half on 2nd down and 8. To the outside, Gronkowski cannot break a tackle.
Another good tackle by Jenkins. Both of those plays could easily gone for first downs if he's not
Punching the clock, going back to his Philly
certain with both those tackles.
Every snap in 14, almost every snap in 15, almost every snap in 16, 17.
Brady's going to throw for a 12-point touchdown.
Every snap in 18, every
We'll
snap
see.
in 19, and all but a couple so far.
They're showing Malcolm Jenkins and how many defensive snaps he's played. That's very, very impressive. New Orleans has just been gangbusters.
Timeout here,
They've played really, really well.
and 6 upcoming, and 5:08 left in the half.
They forced either 3 or 4. I think it was 3 and outs by Tampa, and then they had an interception that turned into a touchdown. So it's New Orleans scoring touchdowns on every possession and forcing 3 and outs on the other side of the ball. I'm not able to with the live lines I'm looking at, but I'm sure there is a book somewhere that would allow you to do teasers on live lines. But like the juice and the odds would definitely be heavily against you. On the live line right now, Tampa's 10-1 to come back and win.
Saints on top, 3rd down and 6, coming up with 5:08 to the half. Brady is 9 of 17 for 64 yards to this point. Meanwhile, Mike Evans, one of the best in the league, a guy they normally look to a lot, barely looked at tonight to this point.
But look who's guarding his old nemesis.
Lattimore. Brady under pressure, fires, and that's dropped. Godwin could not hold on. Again, maybe that finger playing a role.
The other side is Saints minus 1,800.
On the play, and it's 4th down and 6.
So
Leave that offense in there. Wobbly pass.
I don't have the exact math off the top of my head, but
Because really, you'd like to have Tom Brady down 28-3.
Saints are like probably 94% to win right now.
Bingo. You want a lottery with that one. That's beautiful. 4th and 6. Brady under pressure. Going deep downfield. And a little too far for Gronkowski. And that would have turned
Well, the thing for Tampa is like touchdowns are bust now. Field goals aren't going to make a difference for them. Yeah, 94%. That sounds about right, Zit. So the Bucks, instead of going for it first downs, they just bomb it. I think that's just how that worked. I wouldn't say they don't give a fuck. I think that Mickey Hill 28-3. That field goal would have made a difference. They need touchdowns right there, and then Brady was looking short, but whatever it was that he looked at short was covered, so he had to go long to Gronkowski, and Brady's not good under pressure, so the longer he has to hold on to the ball, the more chances are of a mistake or an inaccurate throw, and that's what we saw there. He essentially just threw the ball up, hoping Gronk could get under it, but under pressure, he's just not able to make the same plays that other players in the league can make. Brady has to win before the snap, not after. At 5.5, what percentage are the Saints? Off the top of my head, it's like 64%, 65%. Whatever the inverse is of that. 36%, somewhere around there. Wasn't it like late in the third quarter? I can't remember exactly. Is it? Yeah, that's what I mean. Brady sucks. The fact I went to get a dress so he could sing on behalf of this being over. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Eric. Brady has to pick his spots when he wants the refs to call penalties for him. Well, it definitely helps if you're getting bailed out by penalties, but it's like I said, Brady has to win before the snap, not after the snap. Yeah, 10-1 was essentially because they were driving. It's already up to 15-1 for Tampa, minus 4,000 for the Saints. But you can just see how much juice is on both sides. So you're really losing out on juice on live lines.
For 241 yards, and we still have almost 5 minutes to go in the half, and Bree starts this.
Yeah, exactly, Dustin. The old tip of the shades to one of the referees.
On the gain of 11.
I'll tell you, they are hitting from a lot of different angles here, blocking down, coming around, and it really, this Bucs defense that you know they're just so frustrated. They want to go attack and they want to go just try and smash something here because they're so frustrated, and yet it's been a little bit of that misdirection, that change of pace, that Taysom Hill. They've just been off balance all night.
All right, full five. Ready. My blue 80, what's up?
Breeze being protected well, fires, caught, 35-yard line, fighting for more.
Yeah, with live lines, the reason why they're able to have so much juice on live lines is that people who are betting live don't really care about the price as much as someone who would before a game starts. So it's really a cheap way for the books to make really good money during the games.
The first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, a bit of a struggle, but the difference with him now are those intermediate routes, and having Michael Thomas back in there make a huge.
Jackson asked a good question, and Mickey, if you're still around, what's the Bucks defense ranked in NEA this year? I'll bet their defense rank is inflated by the run.
Real revelation so far for this Bucs defense. Maybe not tonight with the
Well, the volume is low from
him with 4
like analytical sports bettors, I'd say, but the live lines are really meant for emotional bettors,
quarterback hits.
like people that are thinking like, oh, there's no way that the Saints lose this game. Like, there is a chance that they lose. It's not a good one, but it's one of those things where when you're saying like, oh, this could never happen, that's the type of bettor that's betting live. I've been victim of it in the past, and it's kind of made me to realize not to bet live lines. The only time I'll ever bet, I bet the Tampa Bay money line after the Saints went up 7 today, but that's just because I was able to buy back and guarantee profit after taking the Saints money line. 5-Star Entertainment is right. It's only going to take like one score from Tampa to get people interested again, but so far it's just been a dominating performance from the Saints. Dylan, fat guy, went to eat. He's just eating with his girlfriend. He'll be back shortly.
You know, the last time that Brady was down 24-0, not 28, was on Sunday Night
Yeah.
in Denver in 2013, and they won the game in overtime.
It's
There you go. So
I kind of have my own rule where I don't take anything over a 200, like a minus 200 favorite.
Coffee. It's going to be okay.
Bucks were second in defensive NEA.
in Foxborough at home, came back, won the game. Second down and 10, approaching the 2-minute warning.
Basketball live lines are interesting because I feel like teams go up 20 and still lose pretty commonly. Yeah, Eric, I think there's definitely value. There's always going to be some value that you can get on live lines, but there's less opportunity on live lines because of the extra juice.
This second quarter is brought to you by Expedia. Imagine the places we'll go together.
I knew I should have taken Tampa Bay or Tom Brady scoring no points. Such an obvious play. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine the places we'll go together.
In the league where they play.
Forte. I heard that.
How was that taco, fat guy?
Came out nice. It came out nice.
That's good.
Is back. Only at Mucho Burrito.
My mom said my room looks like hoarders. Just so you know, my mom was listening listening to this stream. Great. At least I have one fan.
We can give you the
There was a play where there was a female ref on the side, and I actually I liked. There was no nonsense with her call. I liked it. There was a play. I can't remember if it was on stream recently, but there was a play where, like, depending on where the ball was spot was, like, very important because the coach would have to take a timeout depending on the spot. And I just remember the ref was so, like, lackadaisical when it came to spotting the ball.
Oh, he strolled? Yeah, that was last week.
Oh, that drove me
I think that
crazy.
was the Giants-Bucks game.
It might have been, but I couldn't believe it. Like, people are trying to make decisions off that, and you're, like, walking up to the spot, like, where it's going to be placed.
Okay, I have a question. So when the female ref made a terse decision, did they play any Donna Summer in the stadium, or? I don't live with my mom, Eric, but she's watching on stream though. From not far away either. I guess I got to mind my P's and Q's, eh?
I like that he called your place a command center.
The spare bedroom, yeah. I guess it is now. It's got my computer in here. It was too comfortable on the couch. I got a couch. I got a computer in every room with a TV. I got your old TV in my bedroom now, Big Rye. Thank you, buddy.
No problem. Oh, a key drop from Jared Cook. And to think, too, that's 28-0.
I don't know if that's a key drop.
It is a key drop. It's funny to think that Jared Cook actually had a fumble earlier that took a touchdown away from the Saints, or a potential touchdown.
Sorry, Mickey made it funny. Yeah, I know. Look at Cook's equipment. He must have got roughed up in the line of scrimmage. His shoulder pad was up here. It was like a fin. Oh, yeah. Will Lutz padding my stats, eh?
Feka, how much did you weigh at birth?
I wasn't that big. 8'11". 8'11".
Oh,
I was 20. I think I was 22 or 24 inches long. I was a very tall baby, very long baby. So they had a prediction that I'd be, I think it was between 6'4" and 6'10", so I guess you got it right. That's a pretty wide prediction, though, from the doctor. You get a really long baby, and you go, yeah, he's going to be tall.
Learning a lot about myself, working on myself for a year and a half. So I think I'm a better person.
Antonio Brown wearing a Tom Brady 12 hat.
Yeah, oh yeah. He lives with him, Big Rye. They're bosom buddies.
That's great.
Yeah, Dylan Dustin. I predict this baby is going to grow minus 1,000. Yeah. So funny. Bucks D has been really good. I don't know, but the thing is that you know what defense I think is secretly really good is the Bears. Because their offense doesn't give them any sort of help. They're on the field all the time. Again, I don't have the data right in front of me, but it would be hard for me to argue that the Bears don't have one of the stronger defenses. Dude, that emoji is the use has been fantastic.
That's good to hear, Eric.
Glad we could be of some assistance here. We're all trying to learn together. There's no definitive way for doing this. You get these micro edges and these little inklings, small pieces of data. Everything's incomplete. It's messy.
Mickey, it sounded like your doctor had his finger on the pulse.
Yeah, there you go. In the league where they play. Sound like I own a delicatessen. It's still the first half. It's 31-0. You know what? There might be value on the Bucks after this. You know what? Now I'm thinking, you barely scrape by the Giants. barely. Now you're getting routed at home against the Saints. Holy.
The Saints at number 1 doesn't look so bad right now. That's what Dylan's thinking. This has been very impressive.
Is this the worst loss of Brady's career so far? Like the worst half? Someone with a better memory than me kind of
He's had offensive stinkers in the past, but this is pretty
This is up
pretty
there, man.
bad.
Eric, yeah, we felt the same way. That's why when I always say like Big Ryan and I are historically awful for over-unders, this is why, because we don't understand like how we always think the line is like the public always just bets over and it seems to land over more often than not.
The thing I will say about over-unders is that over-unders are bet less than spreads.
Yes.
And the reason because they're bet less than spreads, the books will be less sharp with their over-unders. So overs, I feel like, tend to hit more, and like I'm just saying that off of when we bet unders, it just seems to hit more. But it's just one of those things that usually anytime we look at anything over-under wise, it's going to be like a 50-50 split, so you're just losing out on whatever the juice is.
Jackson, we can't fall for anchoring. We love Teddy, but don't forget most of us went against him and went with Atlanta just 2 weeks ago. And I think this is going to be
Tampa's going to be
one of those
low.
things, do up, do down, really.
Yeah, Tampa's going to be low, and I think people are going to be very. Carolina was so impressive. Like that game was something, and
they're not even supposed to compete in that game. Honestly, Matt Rule is awesome. That team's fun.
Our one of our good friends is a diehard Panthers fan, and going into the season, he was definitely. He was even telling us that he thought that they were going to be the worst team in the league. And the fat guy was always supportive, always saying Carolina was going to be better than they are. But I don't know what their record is off the top of my head. But the Panthers have played better than even what their record is showing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what their record is. I couldn't care less. The effort and the ability is there. They're a well-run football team. They can compete with anybody.
I like what Dustin said. Hear me out. Belichick finally replaced the batteries in Brady's remote control.
Yeah, it's like what movie is that? Naked Gun or whatever? Where there's a chip in people? I forget what it is. Or it's like they're hypnotized. I love those movies.
The Jackson said right now Tampa's 6.5. He'd want them at 5.5.
Well, yeah, I think we'll get movement though, Jackson, because I think we all agree on that. We're gonna get movement.
Have a good night, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. That was a good comment. It was funny. Canadian Sanders, yeah. OJ, Dustin's right. OJ Simpson played Nordberg in that. Whatchamacallit? Naked Gun movie. And yeah, these remote controlled into murder. Pretty funny.
I'm gonna take my food break now, so I'll be back as we go through halftime.
They refill your dish, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go drink out of Bustin.
You gonna get a saucer of milk?
I'm gonna go drink out of Buck Nasty's mom's water dish.
Yeah. I actually have the Dolphins to win the division there, Dylan. But I took a prop bet against someone. I have the field at I think it's plus 160 against the Bills. The Bills wins against the Patriots and Seahawks hurt me though. I think the Dolphins are 2.5 games behind, so it's unlikely, but I'd love it. I'd love it. Dolphins are interesting team too. They're going to be the best team in the league in a couple of years, I think. So they're coached well. The draft stock, they have lots of draft capital, lots. They did well on pretty much all of their trades, liquidating. They have a great secondary, in my opinion. The Dolphins are really, really one of those strong teams. We bring it up almost every week, but teams of the future, I think, are Dolphins, Panthers, and Raiders, and probably in that order. Raiders are going to be in tough because of the quarterback situation. I'm not sure what Teddy's how long he's going to be able to play at that efficiency, let's call it, because he did miss a considerable amount of time, but he is getting older. But the wear is not there necessarily, right? In theory, I don't know what his body's like, what aches in the morning and what doesn't. But I would imagine taking those few years off probably healed him in a lot of other areas. So, and he kind of plays like just smart, like doesn't take a lot of damage. He slides appropriately. Although he did say the one time he got a nice big headshot when he was playing on the Vikings. Of course, he tore his knee in that practice injury, 3 years ago. But that's quite a comeback story, too. I'm happy that he got a big contract. I went the other way, Mickey. I went the other way, and I lost money on that game. I got to be honest. Well, the Cards, I felt it was a time to sell on the Dolphins, right? Like it seemed too easy. It really did. And the line did move against me too. So it did move with me. So I felt better about it before the game, and it didn't help. Yeah. Like, the Dolphins had been covering a bunch and they had really good performances. And I got a little bit, I think I anchored a little bit of my decision making, possibly falsely, to Tua's first game against the Rams, because they got the result they wanted, which in my eyes the public is more concerned with. But Tua had a really, really tough game, so I thought he would struggle similarly, and they wouldn't get as lucky of a result against Arizona. So it was more of a handicap. I don't know what Big Rye did. I took Denver, which I lost. I took the Chargers, which I lost. But I won like pretty much every other game. I had Tennessee. I had Dallas. Let me look here.
I am totally baffled. I knew New Orleans was going to come out and play well. Michael Thomas and Emmanuel.
Most of the games I said on the thing I had the Giants. I had the Panthers was my big one. I had the Panthers 3 times. I had them 12.5, 11.5, and 10.5, I believe. I had Packers early line on Thursday. I didn't bet the Ravens Colts. I ended up staying away from that. And who else did I have? Oh, I had the Lions too. I lost that one. It was a good day though. I had the Jags too, which is a nice. I put less money on that one, Mickey, because it I thought it was not ridiculous, but just out of manner. I had it at 12.5 too, Dylan. So I mean, it was a nice line, and the Panthers, we all kind of thought the Chiefs were going to come back during that game, but the cover was safe for a long time. It got a little murky around the third quarter, but they did a great job. I got the Saints tonight too, so this is going to be a good weekend. Oh, I had the Bills. I had big on the Bills too. Bills was second to my Panthers, so this was a good weekend so far. The Detroit game disappointed me a little bit because I thought they got that score's not even indicative. 2 touchdowns. That was a blowout by the Vikings. Yeah, but Dallas is an interesting one. It's because it's pretty much the inverse. Dallas couldn't look worse to the public, and Pittsburgh couldn't look better. And you know what's nice about this Pittsburgh win is the Steelers get the glory of victory, but the cover glory goes with the Cowboys. So it'll just be that one-off game. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, they just had a bad game. The Steelers did against the Cowboys. When in reality, the Steelers just aren't as good as people think they are. So Dustin hit the perfect. I had Saints over 30 at half and TV under half. Oh yeah. I'm that good a handicapper for sure. So, the only loss that really hurt me today was the Lions. So, everything else went well. It's a good day today. The Broncos too. I had Broncos +4. That was my third biggest bet. So, Seattle's D isn't that good. They think of how many yards. Like statistically, they're terrible, right? But then you can also give them a little bit of slack because of how strong their offense has performed. But I mean, if you quick score, you're probably going to give up more quick scores because the opposing offense is going to press. I understand that, but I mean, I still don't think they're a strong squad. I don't think their roster is that good, even though a lot of people gave me flack because they have a strong skill position group. That doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's O-line, D-line is such a strong. For me, it's me and Big Rye. It's the crux of everything. Quarterback, O-line, D-line, right? I could care less who's really playing. Like Emmanuel Sanders, for instance. That's just a guy you can pick up. You can play all day. August currently 84% on Tampa against Carolina next week. Early market, yes, but I'm not sure it'll flip to 70% on Carolina. It might be closer to 50-50 depending on the line. I agree. The line still probably will go down even at 84. I agree with that as well. I don't see how this doesn't sway eyes, right? Like the confidence in the Panthers has to be gaining, and the Bucks these 2 weeks are gonna give people over exaggerated recency bias. So Dustin said a comment that I completely agree with. Pretty much every show I say that I think Russell Wilson's the best player in the league, and I think he is a legit MVP pretty much every year. Yeah, I agree, Dustin, because their team's not that good. Let's be honest. A lot of their players, they have nice pieces and stuff. Their D-line was stacked when they had the Legion of Boom. It really was. It was Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett at the peak of their careers. Both 10 double-digit sack guys. They don't get that kind of pressure in Seattle anymore. Strong linebackers, one good safety. It doesn't do it for me. And offensive line, they got one player that's playing very well. Very well. Yeah, in Dwayne Brown. Rest of the O-line is, Dylan, RBs don't matter for success. They don't really correlate, I don't think. You can look. Here's a good example. Josh Robinson on the Jags is awesome. He's a UDFA, Dylan. He's making $400,000 a year. You can pick these guys up. You can find them. Chris Carson is a 7th round pick, and I do think he is a good RB1. I do, Dylan. He needs a committee around him, but yeah. I agree. Dustin's proven it. I actually think I think their weakest roster was probably 3 years ago, Dustin, maybe 2, and I thought they were a 4-win team. I honestly did. And they won 9 games or 10. Interesting, Jackson. That's probably because the number of bets is only 300, so it's not that hard to do. But this is good. Mickey Hill's got the fantastic comment. Yeah, think of the Niners last year. Look at their running backs. Raheem Mostert is a journeyman.
A journeyman special teamer. Not even a journeyman running back. A journeyman
special teamer. There you go. How many teams did he play for? He played on the practice squad on the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Niners have how many first round picks on the O-line? Big Rye? 3? That'll do it.
I'm just looking at Mostert. He played for Philly, Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, the Jets, Chicago, San Francisco. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. San Francisco was his 7th team, and it wasn't he was a star on those 6 teams. He was waived cut on some of those teams. Practice squad. He's worked hard, and he's become an excellent an excellent. He's always been good with the ball in his hands. Like, he's an exciting player, but definitely not like meant to be a starting running back in the league as far as his first few seasons.
He's looked like a good one. Jackson's got a good point. I'm unsure if I should show him Carolina plus 6.5 or wait until the line drops. You know what? For me, it would be a line drop. You know, I don't know. God, I hope it draws for tomorrow. I don't know. I don't want to take. God, it's a rock and a hard place for the contest when I set the line tomorrow. I like this. I'm gonna try that. Pizza trick. I got a really nice cast iron, so real greased perfectly, chef's kiss. So I'm gonna try that next time. Just cover. I'll just cover it with tinfoil or something. It'll work.
Yeah, I've done the frying pan trick, and it works like a charm. My wife will only drink it or only eat it out of if it's been reheated in a frying pan.
Oh, Dustin, Dustin does have a cool story. Because Anytime Fitness and Zach Lyon, the owners are the family of Zach Lyon. So Breeze circled it. So I mean, it could be just a coincidence, but that's kind of cool.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Trailblazer.
I could definitely believe that Zach Lyon's family is cool. I'm sure.
11 different receivers tying his career high in a game. Did that in one half. Brady shut out in the first half for the first time since back in September of 14.
Oh, the pizza box has like a steam hole in the bottom to reheat. That's a great. We don't have this kind of stuff in Canada. It takes 4 years to get any sort of technology from America to sprinkle down.
38 on the ground, 21 receiving. Great weapon. And the Saints will get the ball to start the second half. Again, they look for their 5th win in a row, and they're looking for a season sweep of the Buccaneers. Off we go. Al Michaels, Chris Collins for you. Start the third quarter, and let's hear from Michelle.
Corrugated is definitely going to be a new word that I'm learning today.
Try to speed things up on offense. He said that Tom Brady made some poor decisions, put him in some bad situations, but he's got to hang in there and play. He also said their defense, which has been a strength this season, there have been communication issues they've got to clean up. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Sean told me they've been seeing a lot of zone and prevent defenses from Tampa, and that's given Drew time to find receivers.
The Saints get the ball. What do you do here?
Taysom Hill's been
What do you do here with the Saints offense? Like, what do you run? Like,
their quarterback 5 hits, 3 hurries.
I don't know. Do you step on the throat here? I wouldn't mind going Taysom Hill or both of them for most of this drive.
I think you just go one safety high and bring as much pressure as you can, and hopefully Breeze makes a mistake throwing underneath.
No, I meant the Saints. Like, what are the Saints like? Like, did the Saints step on the throat? Like, did they really go for it, or they just take it conservative and play as like? Is there a threat from the Bucs right now, considering the scoreline?
The Bucs are going to score points, so you just want to cut down opportunities. You want to be consistent with your drives. You want to stay on the field, and you want to score points. It doesn't have to be touchdowns. You just need to score points.
It's like a college game. This game.
It's a 4-score game right now.
4 majors with 2 pointers. They're showing the sky cam protection. It's unreal. Holy. Kamara would have busted that for the... probably busted that with that. Bleh. Kamara probably would have busted that one for a touchdown.
What do you do when you're on defense? That's what defenses do. Think of
Fat guy, have you ever done sous vide cooking?
Sous vide?
Yeah.
No, I've always wanted to. Like I've always wanted to, but like the only thing that I wasn't into is like I have to get those plastic bags and then seal them or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'd always wanted to cook a steak there because I don't know, you can fill a bag with like garlic, rosemary, thyme, a tiny bit of oil, and you can dry out the steak in the fridge. And I've wanted to try it. I have a really good method for cooking steak, but I wanted to try sous vide at least once. So, or reverse sear it too, like cook it in the sous vide, then sear it for 30 seconds on each side.
How did it
I
turn
prefer
out, Mickey, when you did that?
Oh, you just use a freezer bag? I thought you had to use a vacuum seal. That actually changes things for me, and now I'm considering it. I thought you had to vacuum seal it with one of those things. It just seemed like too much of a process. Dustin, you probably have a reasonable chance. That's a fumble. It's not even close. Well, Dustin's going to have his shot with Rob Gronkowski. The over-under is going to be in jeopardy, though, I think, in this next few minutes. Oh, Kenji Lopez alt is fantastic. He's one of the best on the internet. I feel like me and Mickey probably have similar YouTube histories. Mine's politics, gambling, and cooking videos, so... Yeah. Sam the cooking guys, are you mean, Mickey?
Mickey said same to your YouTube history.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike Evans hurt his groin on that play.
I know I will. You know what I was, Dustin, I was disappointed in? My friend Ken sat next to our Charles Barkley 2 years on a flight. My friend Ken's about 6'4", and maybe a little shorter, maybe 6'3", and he had like this much on, like maybe half an inch on Charles Barkley, and then I'm like, did he shrink, or did my basketball cards a lie? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. But like it says he's 6'5" or 6'6" on the card. He's maybe 6'1", I think. Like Breeze is probably 5'10". Let's be real. Everyone does wrestling heights.
I always bring up the basketball tournament I was in grade 11 where my coach listed that I was 6 feet tall. And like I'm still pushing probably like 5'5" is generous.
Yeah. So big Ryu on 5'3".
Oh yeah, if that.
Yeah, exactly.
Second and goal. When it's goal to go this season, the Buccaneers are 1,000%, 22 for 22. The Saints, goal to go against, have given up a touchdown every.
Yeah, and he probably was 6'3", and he's maybe shrunk a little bit since. It's not that tall. Great player, not saying that, but I feel like there's wrestling heights. Who did I see? I saw an actual wrestler in real life. I can't remember which one. And I was way bigger than them. You're going to get a chance here, Dustin. I got a funny story about that. There's another guy that's very large in the area that we're in, and we go to the same bar once in a while, and every UFC we'd go to the same bar, and he'd wear lifts to be taller than me. And I always say he's huge. Like, this guy's massive. So he played sports, professional sports. He's very hulky, jacked guy. But I thought he was like 6'10", and he told me he was wearing lifts every time. And I looked down, and he was, just so he'd have he's a little bit taller than me. He's probably 6'7", but the lifts were like this big. It was pretty funny. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, Barkley's a legend for that. Barkley put in half the effort and got double the results of everyone else. Like with his weight and stuff like that. He didn't want the 76ers to draft him, so he's just eating cheese pizzas. Gronk with the drop. You got your wish, Dustin, but you didn't get your result. Yeah, they have to go for it. It's a fourth. They have to, obviously. There's no way that's PI. There's no way. And that's fantastic defense from the Saints, who are pitching a shutout despite what their offense did with the turnover. Who played corner there? That was nice.
Marshawn Lattimore.
It had to have been. Who else, right?
Right now, we've got great deals on cold beverages. Find them in store or get 7-Eleven delivered fast. 7-Eleven, here for you in the neighborhood.
Good times with a twist.
I was trying so many times, so many different places, so many different avenues.
And there's always that question in your mind, like, oh, will I ever work again?
I couldn't find a job, and then somebody introduced me to Indeed.
I was home when I got the job offer. I was excited. I was like,
Indeed, not only
Mickey's conceding here that the Saints might be the best team in the NFC.
In the NFC, yeah, there you go. Dylan, man, the second there's any dissent, he's like a communist leader. If there's any dissent, it'll be stamped out right away.
Then it becomes a hobby. Then more than a hobby. Now, because of RBC Training Ground, you're on the world stage.
I will be back.
Is Big Ry getting dessert? You gonna warm up some milk, or?
I just had ice cream.
Oh, that's what you were. Yeah, he is.
I just saw Mickey with the sweet burn.
Well, it's Democratic Socialist power ranking systems.
Watch exclusive series you can't see anywhere else.
It is a time when
Oh, we're going for scoregami, Dustin?
Are you Dr. Doolittle?
There's something for everyone on Crave.
One of the most heated rivalries really in the National Football League. Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore, they have been going at it for some time. Lattimore
Safety here and murder after. Yeah, possibly.
the field. Down here on the goal line on first down, a clear win for Lattimore. Come right back to him on fourth down, the other side of the field. Lattimore traveled with him over there, and he wins again. We talked to Mike Evans a little bit, who wasn't happy with the non-call right there, but Lattimore was on the receiving end of a cheap shot from Mike Evans. Evans wasn't happy with himself about it, but Lattimore has never forgotten, played some of his best football against Evans.
Now Breeze from the one, looking for some breathing space.
That looked like a chop block in the end zone, I gotta be honest.
10. He's 20 out of 26 for 199 for Breeze. Matchup tonight, they've lined up 18 times. Only 2 targets.
Just saw him.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And Evans is the guy they've been going to. Brady's been going to a lot in the red zone, especially when it's at the 1 or 2 yard line.
Yeah, there was a dust up on the sideline, and Evans came over to defend his quarterback, took a huge cheap shot against Lattimore in a prior game, and
probably is the right odd set. There you go. Now it's going to be tough to get your 2 points now. I like that they use Murray there. $1,000, Dylan. Yeah. Dustin said it. You just take 2 zeros off. I know it looks complicated. It's not though once you get used to it. I don't think that's unlikely. No, it's only worth it if the chances are better than 1 in 10,000, Dylan. Right? And it probably isn't. It just sounds like it is. That's how they get you. I like what Jackson said. We're in the same mindset. I think the Rams can compete as well. I don't think the Rams are going to make the playoffs now just because of some certain results, but they can bang too. Well, if you get an entertainment out of it, Dylan, then it's worth it. Murray can rush too. Like I like when he runs in between the tackles. That's an interesting team. I don't think Eagles are good at all, but I know they're your gang. But Saints D is better than those other ones, Dylan. So that he had listed. Rams depth. That's a very good point for Mickey. Wow, that got blown up. What's probably the 7 or 9 team worst wins the Super Bowl? Probably not that unreasonable. And 8-8. Who's the last? The Giants were 8-8 and won the Super Bowl. Correct, Big Rye? The first time, 2007? Was that 2010? I'm losing my brain here.
I would say, is it off the top of my head, at the start of the playoffs, if there's a team that's 7 or 9, they'd be like anywhere from 50-1 to 100-1, depending on how they enter the playoffs. Like if a team wins 4 games in 4 impressive games in a row and they're 7 and 9, they might be like closer to 50-1. But like even what was the price on the Titans recently that you liked? It was like
started season with 100-1, and then it got down to 40, I think.
Yeah, so it's one of those things like
40 when they made the playoffs. Start of the season it was 100, and that was the price I like, and I liked at the start of the season. So let me look up this one.
But yeah, like the other thing too this year is that there's going to be 2 additional playoff teams. So as of now, they're planning on having 14 teams in the playoffs. So really, like a team that's 7 and 9 entering is going to be like 100-1 or 150-1, just with how it works.
I can give you this odd set. Remember when the Seahawks made the playoffs, had a 7-8-1 record? They were 200-1. I remember that season because I took a bet on that. I gave someone It was 201, and I gave someone 150 to 1 at $20, and they actually scared me because they won the first game against the Saints, and they were huge underdogs, like 14 points at home.
The one thing they have going for them is that their first game would be a home game, because it's assuming that a 7-9 team is what they've got in because of the division. So they start off with one home game, but then they have to win 3 road games most likely, and 1 neutral field game. So you have to think they have to win. I think it's 4 games, right? You have to win 4 games, or is it 5?
4.
It's 4 games, so whatever. Even like if you have a 50% win probability in each of those games.
Well, 1 over 2 the fourth power, right? So that's 1 in 16.
6%. So that's at 50% win rate, and they're obviously a lot lower than 50% in all those games. So you can kind of do the math on your own, just predicting on what you think their chance of winning each game would be. Mickey said it right. It's like it's going to be like a 1 or 2% chance, just depending on how good you think they are, or how like compare to the teams that they're going to have to play.
I'm looking through Super Bowls. The Giants one from 2011 at 9-7 is the worst one I could see, really.
Yeah, let me put it in perspective for you. If let's say the Eagles go 7-9 or 7-8-1 and they win in the division, they're going to have to play, like if the playoffs started today, they would either have to play the Saints, Bears, or the Cardinals or the Rams at home. So that game would be a pick'em, or like there's a chance that the Saints would be favored. There's a chance any of those teams could be favored. So you're already starting off at like, let's say 45% chance to win, maybe lower. Then you'd have to play either the Seahawks, the Packers, or the Bucks in their home. That's probably like a 25% win percentage. They're going to have to play one of those teams again. So another 25% win percentage. And then they'd have to play the Super Bowl against like the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Steelers. So that's going to be like another 25%. So really, if I say 45% times 25% times 25% times 25% would be 0.7% chance to win. And what's 0.7% odds wise?
Get speed that gets noticed with the stunning LG Velvet 5G on Canada's best national network. Get style that stands out.
It's like one. It'd be like. Yeah, Zip Vono has it. It'd be like 140 to 1 type of thing.
Wearing a poppy pays tribute to their service. HSBC Bank wants to preserve this tradition.
That's just off the top of my head, and like that's me using very, very like rough predictions on it. But it's pretty safe to say like they're gonna have to beat a 7-9 team is gonna have to beat a team that probably went 9-7. And then they're going to have to beat 2 teams that probably went like 12-4 or 13-3. And then the Super Bowl is probably going to be another like 12-4, 13-3 team.
I just looked. The worst records to be in the Super Bowl since 1980 were 2 9-7s and a 10-4-1, and only a 9-7 won once. 2011 Giants. Interesting. Smaller sample, but I was just curious.
It's not impossible. It's just
it's not a good sample, right?
Between
Kinda
Dustin
think of
and
like
Zivono, you got that 150 to 130. So it just depends how you feel on that team and who they're gonna have to play.
well, it's similar. You could draw an example to like the World Cup, for instance. Like think of super long shots that have done like South Korea made it to the semifinals, like one game short of the finals. So did Turkey, and Croatia would be the longest odd shot I can think that made the finals. But then conversely, in the Euro Cup, very similar. But this is the difference because it's a round of 16 in the playoffs in the World Cup. It's 4 games, right? In the Euro Cup, it's 3 games to win the title, and 2 super long shots have done that. So I mean, that almost shows you it's kind of like it's a fourth leg of a parlay, right? So like what you call it in the 1990 Euros, Denmark won, and they were really a 17th ranked team. They replaced the 16th round team for cheating, Romania, and then they won in the playoffs. And Greece won in 2004. Those are, but to see how like that, I think that fourth leg adds like such a degree of difficulty. Yeah, Uruguay did too. Yeah. That was another one. I did really well in that tournament because of Uruguay, Jackson.
If who did the Lakers play in the finals this year?
Miami Heat.
So the equivalent to, it's actually a really, really good comparison because I'd say the Lakers in those games were like somewhere between 70 to 80% to win most of them. So a team like the Eagles or a team that makes it in that's 7-9 or they're 7-8-1, whatever it is, it would be the equivalent of the Miami Heat winning 4 games in a row. It's the same equivalent to Philadelphia winning 4 games in a row if they're going to be playing, 12-4 teams. So it's like, it's pretty much the same odd set between Miami sweeping the Lakers and like a 7-9 team making the. It can happen. Oh, definitely. Like it can happen. It's one of those things that mathematically, like, it doesn't mean that projections are always going to be spot on either. saying that that team only has a 25% chance of winning is probably too low. So really, you can maybe bump it up to like a 30% or 33%, but still, like, for a 30% to hit 4 times in a row is just, it's unlikely.
Lance Hendrickson is tearing it up for the Saints. Hockey though, big ride. There's been a lot of 8 seeds that have done very well though in the playoffs.
But hockey odds are way different than, like, an underdog in hockey might be like plus 130 or plus 150.
Yeah, that's true.
We're talking about stuff that's like plus 220, plus 250.
Or 280, 320.
If the Eagles are playing the Saints in New Orleans, like, what's the money line on the Eagles? Like plus 250, plus 300?
Yeah, in that range, say 250. Tennessee had their odds improve after beating 2 teams in the playoffs. Not really, because the Chiefs had like an emotional comeback like rout of the Houston Texans, and they looked like champions, and so did the 49ers. So despite all that, like, the spread was generous for the Titans, but the odds weren't long enough. Like, Big Ryan and I have a playoff matrix, and I don't think we found value on any team except it was Green Bay.
The year the Eagles won, we made money.
Yes,
on them.
that was the only time.
No, that
the
wasn't
year the Eagles won. We had them because
we had value last year too, and we won. But it was on a conference. I can't remember which team it was.
Yeah, we had the Chiefs to make the Super Bowl and Green Bay to win it. I think were what worked out the best. That's mostly because Green Bay. Oh yeah, it's because the Saints had shorter odds than Green Bay, despite having to play one more game, which we thought was ludicrous. And then, sure enough, they lose. It was to Minnesota, and then that's where the infamous Dylan Toddfield eyebrow bet came from. Thank you again for doing that, Mickey. It's been endless fun for everybody.
since 07. And they won it, which is the last time they got to the playoffs. They've given both sacks to Hendrickson. He's got 2 tonight. And a 4th down and 7. Brady under pressure again. Throws up a prayer. And intercepted by Malcolm.
Hey, have a good one, Jackson.
Have a good night, Jackson. This is the problem too with Brady. Like if under pressure, like if it takes him longer than 3 or 4 seconds to make this throw, and he has to move off his spot, like it's just not good news.
Dinner's ready.
Eggs? Dinner?
Yeah, Slayton got 0 zaps. It was tough. In a money league, I started Slayton. It didn't work out. It happens. Dylan, when you don't add a player, that's what's supposed to happen. You want to be lower on the waiver priority because then that means you get first dibs on those players when you do select them. So there's a whole like waiting game to the waiver. Big Rye usually saves his for someone important.
At TD Direct Investing, we didn't start out to be Canada's largest online brokerage, but we did start with a simple
Dustin's confused, much like Dylan.
platforms you can personalize with everything essential to get started and advance with the personal support you want. We've always created new ways for Canadians to invest, and it's only going to get better. With TD Direct Investing, you can confidently invest your way.
I don't care about fantasy receivers, Dylan. I do just fine without them. You can pick them up every week. There's good ones all over the place. I'm gonna look right now. My receivers, big Dylan. Sports betting, fantasy football. I like Darius Slayton. I love him. Just didn't work out. And what do you mean I don't have fantasy receivers, Dylan? I got Darius Slayton, I got Manny Sanders, and I got Jamison Crowder. And Brandon Ayuk. That's enough.
Crowder's only played 4 games, but he's like 5th or 6th in the league as far as yards per game.
Order standings.
Well, then guess who's getting a kidney?
Get into CTV's Be Positive, all new, only on CTV. Then stream anytime.
Salute the service is the NFL's
Dylan, you're an 8th, buddy. You're gonna have to move up. You got a lot of points for though. You got more than I do. You've been unlucky, Dylan. You have a lot of points again. It's a lot.
Dylan, you should see my roster this week in the other league that you're not in. I've got 7 running backs, and I only had 3 healthy ones to start. So you just never know when you're going to need 8 guys. And there's no one I would have picked up to play. It would have been bad news if I had to do that.
Oh, Kyler's like fantasy gold, Mickey, and he runs too. Like he gets running back numbers and quarterback numbers. Kyler is a boss. They gonna finish out this game with Taysom Hill?
It makes the most sense for them, strategy-wise.
Look at this run.
Tampa Bay shouldn't have 4 offensive possessions in the 4th quarter. So this is starting to look out of reach for Tampa.
There's some more business happening between Untouchable Jay and Dylan Toddfield.
That would be nice, Dustin, huh? A big bet on the Bucks not scoring points.
What would that pay though?
Going
30 to 1.
I don't know if there's been a scoreless score this year. So
A
it's
shutout? There's been a shutout before.
This year?
Yeah, I think there's been 2. Oh, the Jets got shut out. I think there's been 2.
So there's been 132 times 2. So 266 scores.
It starts as a game.
The Jets got shut out by the Dolphins.
Then more than a hobby.
Is that the only one?
That's the only
Yep.
one. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Want to hear the good news, Big Rye?
9, 10, 11, 12. There's only been 12 teams who have scored less than 10 points. So only one out of 260 something. It'd be like, I don't know, I'd say 100 to 1.
Yikes, didn't think about that. Yeah, I guess it does make sense.
To go scoreless for a team to go scoreless. What's the good news, fat guy?
The Jets are on primetime tomorrow.
I think it's going to be an entertaining game tomorrow.
Mickey's scrounging for the live line if you could oblige him.
Yeah, for sure.
On the OU in particular.
The OU is 41.5, and the spread is 30.5.
I kind of like Bucks in that capacity, to be honest. Yikes. Dude, the Saints are just unreal, man. Just stepping on the throat here. The Bucks are demoralized. It's kind of like unravelings aren't always nice to watch, but this is one of them that is.
I like what Dustin said. He said, I'm like the video reviewer, and he's the drunk fan telling us the truth much faster.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing, too, is there's only been one result in 260-something, like, possible results. And that one result was the Jets, who are obviously, like, super, super bad. But for a team like Tampa Bay, it would probably be, like, closer to 150 to 1.
And more than that, play 300.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is that even if I had that bet right now, I'd be sweating buckets still with 13 minutes left.
Yeah, you'd be hovering over the cash out button.
Oh, definitely.
And also, too, like, what about the give up mode where they just decide we'll take 3 points to get on the board? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's how chat works, Dylan. You're on top of things today.
So another first down, and that is 23 in the game for the Saints.
You know, I was thinking about just how lucky that Sean Payton is.
So Saints pick up a cheap first down there off of the penalty. Tampa Bay with only 10 first downs this game.
I'm not working out. I just don't want to work out for anybody. And somebody got in his ear and goes, man, it's the head coach. We got our head coach here. You need to do. So he grabbed a pair of cleats, grabbed a pair of gloves, ran 4 routes, said, how's that? And that was all they needed to see.
An offensive-minded head coach as well.
That was a very weird play. It looked like a run. Who cares about that? I'm more interested in this probability to win NFC South now, according to the Sunday Night Football genius.
And after this one, completely flip-flop. Now the Saints very much in the driver's seat here.
Pretty nice. Dylan, 63% chance that the Saints win the division now after this win. Another.
What does that face shield do?
Another offside.
Who's that? Raheem Nunez Roches? Oh, Mickey Hill's got a good comment here. They better watch Ndamukong Suh if they run the score up here. He's probably not wrong. If anyone's likely to make a physical faux pas because of losing, it might be Donkey Kong himself.
I didn't even realize this, but the clock still runs after those penalties. So the Saints have been able to really drain clock without even having to do anything.
Surprised. In one of my other leagues, someone played Tampa defense, and they have 6 points. Like, how? They've given up 31.
They had at least one turnover.
1 sack and two fumble recoveries, but I don't know. It seems silly. Shouldn't be getting points for this effort.
I don't think Tampa's defense has been that bad. It's more the Tampa offense has just been
Yeah, but they've still given up. It's a combo. Yeah, I hate the Vikings, please. There you go, another touchdown here, I think.
I can't believe we just glanced over that Dylan said he's usually not on top of things.
Yeah. Oh, you don't say. Man, Taysom Hill, these runs are, I don't know, they're cool. I like them. They're kind of like upright Cam Newton runs.
He's, despite what analytics say about running the ball, and especially running the ball with a quarterback, it's been super effective for this last season and a half for the Saints.
Absolutely. Good ball security by him there.
Yeah, it is hard to factor in what kind of shenanigans the refs can pull to help Brady out. Untouchable thinks Breeze is done.
I don't see why not.
The under 41.5 is now minus 130. So people are jumping on that under. We're reaching a point where like Brady might not come back in.
Yeah, who's a backup playing Gabbert? I don't think so, Dylan. If I was if I was in prison, the other guy would be playing the sleeping on his tummy game.
The pick video we're gonna do tomorrow night after the Monday night game, but the fat guy and I were talking about bringing in a new video for members and doing it tonight, and that would be talking about the opening lines. So there's a chance after this is done that him and I are going to work on an opening line video. It's going to be really short, very like more of like a, yeah, very informal is a good way to put it. And we're just going to take a look at the opening lines and give you our opinions.
The members know the gist, so the members would appreciate speed over production quality. So it's that's the way we're doing it. It'll be one take, us just having a conversation more or less. So it's we're just trying to provide value for people that join the members. I mean, we're not trying to rake anyone over the coals, but we're trying to just at least use the tools that YouTube has offered us, right? So we're just trying to grow like everyone else. We like doing this, we do, and we want to make it more of a thing than it already is. That being said, 38-0 for the Saints. Yowza.
Yeah. Untouchables put some thought in. He thinks you'd be a pitcher.
I'm gonna go with yeah. I'm not gonna love it either. We're both gonna cry during it, but mine's not gonna be from physical pain.
Pure elation.
Indeed, not only helps me get back into the workforce, it got me into the career I want to do for the rest of my life.
At Walmart, we're rolling back prices on thousands of everyday items. Yep, that's right. Thousands. That means Walmart, the #1 place to save on groceries, is helping you save even
The live line for the game is 37.5. I don't know what they'd be throwing, Dustin. What would they be throwing? Tom Brady's too cute not to be a catcher.
Sometimes you need to push them, and sometimes you let them go. Sometimes you take charge, and sometimes you take a break. But no matter how you parent, if you're doing it right when you're doing your
I was buttering crust during the week, and I had to give the full explanation about how I got that idea.
Was it worth it?
It was very worth it.
How do you, Big Rye? I was having trouble last night for the membership videos. How do you look them up? Like I only could see them through my notifications.
It's you have to look under the community tab. So
Yes.
because of how YouTube works right now, the membership only videos are still in beta. So I think they're still trying to find out a way that they can display it just to members. So the solution that YouTube has right now is under the community tab. If you and I decide to post, we can choose if it's to post to all people or just to post to members.
Makes sense.
So we can post videos in the community tab to our members. So that's where you're going to find it. And that stuff comes up on your feed, at least on your phone. I'm not sure if it comes up if you're looking on a desktop. But the other thing too is I'll link any membership videos. I'll link in the Discord, so you can find those videos in the Discord as well.
Look at Dylan, he's a fantasy expert now.
To give more kudos to Dylan, this was his first ever fantasy league.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think that's got to be part of the answer going forward. To have Mike Evans working that middle of the field, and I know it's not his natural.
Yeah, Mickey's too.
Yeah, Mickey's as well.
Mickey has a bit more experience gambling though, so it's more of a lateral movement. For Dylan, this is a little bit different. So I've been impressed. He's got a reasonable team, And he's diligent on the waiver wire, which is what you have to do to be a good manager. So passing down back Leonard Fournette. How does that...
He's out here on the bench, no helmet on, kind of walking around, stretching a little bit, but has yet to return to the game, Al.
Time to take a little time off with you when your team is up 38-zip. Second down and 4. Brady's pass is incomplete. Flag is thrown.
Wow, that could have been another pick.
Put the heat on that time.
Well, the game plan did not change all night long. They felt
Well, yeah, if you include the other team, Dustin, of course.
whichever of these Hall of Fame quarterbacks got disrupted and hit the most tonight, they're going to have a winner if their defense got that accomplished. That time Davenport.
There was a play similar to that in the Steelers-Cowboys game where
that was brutal.
Roethlisberger got hit in the helmet. And
That was so bogus. That gave him a win pretty much. It revived the drive.
Oh, Sue's coming.
Uh-oh.
Of the Saints. They have turned in a masterful job.
No question about it. And he had a game plan. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a second.
Halfway through the quarter. Brady flushed out.
That's going to be intentional grounding
Grounding.
on Brady. He's still in the pocket. The pass didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. And I didn't see anyone in the picture.
What is going on? Why isn't anyone arguing this? How is that not grounding? Is this a joke?
We can just make him hold it like that right there. He said, we're looking for half a second. We need to add half a second to Tom Brady, and we can get there. That's exactly what's been happening.
That flag just came out.
Now they've called it.
Outside of what they call the tackle box.
Mickey called it as well. Untouchable, couldn't believe it.
Yeah, why was that even... Like, it was the most obvious one.
They had one of those reffing experts talk about it in one of the previous games, and I actually liked his answer, and it made sense. And the reason why this call is usually so difficult and so rarely made is that there's actually 3 separate things that need to happen, and it comes from 3 separate refs. So they all have to talk about whether all 3 of those things hit before they throw the flag. So that's usually why it takes a little bit longer for that to happen.
Interesting education, Big Ray. I like it.
It's one of those things, I know those refs are looking for obviously more than one thing. But if you and I can see it when we're watching the game, and everybody else following along in chat, I don't see why it's has to be that difficult to call.
Yeah, remember though, it's different on ground level than the ivory tower we got built here.
Definitely.
Yikes! You're gonna have to bring in Blaine Gabbert, man. Stop the bleeding.
It's not helped Malcolm win a ring or two, and here's the thank you.
There's Marshawn Lattimore out wide on
Run a quarterback draw.
He didn't say quarterback, to be fair.
Well, let me. I was filling in the blank. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to see my high school math teacher get pummeled. They might get a field goal here.
This will push it to 41, but not over.
Gronkowski had been so hot coming into this game. Touchdowns in 3 straight games. He hasn't been sharp tonight. He hasn't been getting open.
I wonder if people are gonna drop Antonio Brown after this game. You know what I mean in fantasy, as if.
Well,
they're so.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've had Le'Veon Bell in one of the leagues, and I'm contemplating dropping him. Just because
And they're good.
There's some guys that are just not worth having.
Bell, I don't know.
For me, photography's about telling stories. With Valentine's,
The under's looking good, but it's still not done.
I bring these stories.
What about the cover with the Saints?
We check your car's overall health and show you the results with photos
That's looking really good.
yourself what needs attention now, what doesn't.
Especially if you got them at 5.5.
I wonder if he does family portraits.
Right now, get your car winter road ready and save up to $200.
Yeah, they ruined your $100 million play. The over-under is now... Oh, it's still set at 41.5 with heavy juice on the under. So they're predicting no more scores.
Dealers, you'll find steel quality outdoor power equipment at affordable prices. With blowers starting at $199.95, chainsaws starting at only $259.95. Now with the free Wood Pro kit. Fuel or battery products are available at over 1,000 steel dealers across Canada, where it's easy to find expert advice, on-site service, and Canada's #1 selling brand of gas-powered equipment. Find your dealer today at steel.ca.
I was trying so many times, so many different places, so many different avenues.
And there's always that question in your mind, like, oh, will I ever work again?
I couldn't find a job, and then somebody introduced me to Indeed.
I was home when I got the job offer. It was exciting. I was like,
Indeed not only helped me get back into the workforce, it got me into the career I want to do for the rest of my life.
Two teenage girls vanished, possibly abducted.
What are the odds?
They give out odds on that sort of thing.
12 missing females within 100 miles. Trust me, things are about to
Really dragging here at the end of this game. Well, it's a rout.
Well, the
Real-
I find it really interesting that the for either team to score one more point is plus 213. I feel like there is kind of value on that with 6 minutes left in this game. But I guess there really isn't that much incentive for either team to score. The Bucks definitely recover after this. It's just
Oh,
one
for
loss.
sure. It's just a blip.
Satuple is killing it, and he was actually 9-0 to start this week, but then he lost his last two. I guess I can safely update the Saints cover here, so we can take a look at what the standings will be going into Monday night.
I don't think it's that damaging, Dustin. I'm going to try and bet on him against Carolina next week. Look for a rebound.
Ravens got a big early turnover to flip it around. Anyway, you got a little pooch kick here that goes out of bounds.
Tampa Bay kicks this one out of bounds.
Well,
so True or Foles and Satuple are tied for first with 11 wins and 2 losses. Fat Guy, you and I are 8-5 for this week, tied for 10th.
I'll take that all day. We've had 5 winning weeks in a row, I think now. It's good. We're over 500 now. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we are
good.
2 games above 500, 50.8%, so just slightly under that juice, but one more win would push us over that 51.2 threshold on Pinnacle.
Get a nice win tomorrow would be good.
Jameis Winston in at quarterback for the Saints.
Jameis Winston, no stranger to these parts. In his first 5 seasons here in Tampa Bay. He had to make the change after last year. He won the Heisman, won a national championship. He was the overall.
This result puts Mickey over 500 for today, which is nice to see.
He had 33 touchdown passes, but 30 interceptions and 5 fumbles. And of course, when Brady came south, that did it for Winston as a Buck.
The Dustin, we really like these huge different result. Like, we want teams to win by a lot, especially when it's a team like Tampa Bay is a good team. Like, this is not performance indicative of their strength. This is just out of the millions and millions of results. If you could play this game a million times, the Saints are going to win by 35 points a handful of times, and this is just one of those one of those iterations.
It's a bottom 1% result for the Bucks, and it just it happens. Things click, things didn't. So, I mean, it's good because people don't understand. People will overestimate the Saints going forward and underestimate the Bucks. You know, when in reality, like nothing's really changed after this game. God, these play designs are, I don't know, they just look special.
Dylan, do you not have confidence in Jameis Winston? I'm curious what you think about Jameis Winston. Also, this is a Jameis Winston revenge game.
Technically, it is. Hey, that's all that money is. All that matters is the cash.
The money is what matters.
You know, look, let's face it, Drew Brees is going to have a great post-football career, whatever he decides to do. He's a real smart guy, very well-spoken, obviously. But you know what? The juice you get from playing quarterback in the NFL.
I think Jameis has a very high ceiling.
Not just playing quarterback, being the quarterback, walking the streets, the attention, everywhere you go, people know exactly who you are. Much more so than a politician or a great businessman. I guarantee you, it is not easy for his family to go to dinner.
He never has to pick up a check, probably.
Probably not.
Mitchell's on infraction. Defense, number 92.
Defense.
I don't doubt that like Jameis could be turned around. I just think that I don't know, like they should have. I think they should have eased the succession into Teddy Bridgewater faster and like convinced Drew Brees to retire perhaps, because I think that would have been best for the franchise. Instead, I think the Panthers got a smoking deal on them, and they're going to be a threat going down the line.
It's good to hear we're not lagging as far as usual.
That's good. That's good.
Is that DeAndre Washington getting carries for the Saints?
Yeah, he got traded from the Chiefs for I think a 7th round pick. A 6th round pick in exchange for him and a 7th.
I think that's good value for the Chiefs.
I think so too. I drilled a hole in the wall to run the Ethernet cord, and I misjudged like where the hole was going to be. I almost went right through a piece of furniture. So my girlfriend was on the other side, and she just moved it out of the way. It was pretty funny because I had like a huge drill bit.
That is pretty comical.
Oh, that could have been a touchdown. See you, Jay. You have a good one, sir.
Yeah, have a good night, Untouchable.
I tell you, I give Gronk a lot of credit. I don't know how much the injury reports and all that kind of stuff, but you could tell his shoulder was killing him this year. He was being asked to block and crack back and all those things that would just destroy your shoulder. I've seen that guy block some of the most devastating blocks from tight ends ever, and I could tell he was just really struggling to get it done.
So this is going to get them to the 2-minute warning. I got a feeling Tampa's not going to be using their timeout, so a first down ends this game for the Saints. Under 41.5 is now minus 898.
The Dylan Dodd Field rivalry comes in many shapes and sizes.
Good choice. Head and Shoulders keeps your hair flake-free and looking 100% great.
I never do anything less than 100%.
Me neither. I make 100% of my leg days.
My hair looks this incredible, even in 100% humidity.
Take it up to 100 with clinically proven Head and Shoulders.
Discover a world of betting at spincasino.net. With all your favorite casino games.
Mickey's too scared for the bet of the century, week 15 now. And you gotta give Dylan credit. He is invested. He is all in. We'll find something for you guys to wager on.
Join now and get the VIP treatment only at Spin Casino.
We do not.
No. Like, is he still around? I thought he was dead. 'Cause he was a heroin addict or something, wasn't he?
Chiefs Saints are week 15.
Oh, there you go, Dylan. You can put your money where your mouth is then.
Dylan, we did very well today. In the picks contest, we went 8-5. Bets wise, I think it was 5-1 or 6-1. So a very, very strong day.
Sly Stone is still alive.
I wonder how many fake accounts Dylan is going to create.
Yeah, how many Roland Waltons there are?
There's Dylan Roberts, Roland Walton, and Dylan Toddfield. There's a real chance that every person in this chat is controlled by Dylan Toddfield as a master troll.
Yeah. Dylan Roberts, we did great today. How about yourself?
So no more plays. They're going to kneel out. Tampa's going to get this ball back and probably kneel out as well, if I had to guess.
19 seasons for Tom. Montana went 13. And Chris, a record may be set tonight. Fewest carries in any NFL.
Under cashes, thank you very much, Mickey, for your advice. I appreciate it.
In the weirdest way, but under is under.
Well, the OU is 51, so the 51 was pretty safe.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a bizarre, like, iteration of this.
Oh, totally.
To the finish line. They have time, I think, if they're going to have a kneel down for one more.
Yeah, because the clock's going to stop.
The clock stops. Everybody's running off the field, but boys, we still have 34 seconds because they've given the ball away.
I don't think math is a strong suit of some of these players.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And that would be it. It would still set the record. There's your quarterback comparison. So Tom Brady did a show in which he said the best game he's ever played in his mind was in Buffalo in 07. It was a Sunday night game. It was the best. And tonight is, I don't want to say it's the worst, but it's pretty bad. So we've been on both ends of the spectrum.
Is that true, that stat, that Tampa Bay only ran the ball 4 times this game?
I don't know. That you're gonna take a look. That sounds bizarre to me. That's such a good stat, man. How many times you run the ball is a good indicator of whether you won or not.
3 attempts for Ronald Jones, 1 attempt for Fournette, and then the Gabbert kneel. So,
yikes, eh?
Yeah. And despite only those 4 attempts, Brady threw the ball 38 times.
That's even lower than you would think, too.
So you're rich yet? Since I switched to Equestrian, the lower fees are making a big difference.
Swole Sports Picks agrees with us that Tampa Bay would be a good value pick next week versus the Panthers riding high after almost beating the Chiefs.
We like it. We're on the same wavelength as you. Well, we're growing, Dylan. That's the plan here, pal. Don't worry, you're still top dog. You have your own emoji. Boom, proof. That was a 0 out of 8. Eyebrows.
We appreciate everyone stopping by. The Fat Guy and I are going to be working on one of our members-only videos right now, so if you haven't yet, feel free to jump in, join membership. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Thanks for watching. New Orleans, the Moneyline hits, thanks to all of the talking heads picking the Bucks before the game, and shout out to whoever gave us that tip, because I definitely missed it during I wasn't watching, so I didn't get to see it. But otherwise, guys, thank you very much for joining, watching the game.
Thank you, gentlemen. We got to get on some content. Some very casual content, let's call it. Informal.
We'll catch you guys tomorrow night for the live stream.